So HGC is dead, but players, don't give up. There's still a place for you here at the All Hallows Cup. Welcome and good evening. My name is Karis, and joining me tonight I have Joy K.
Joy K, yeah.
You are Joy K.
I am Joy K.
So
I love how you started that sentence. You were just like, so HGC is dead, and I was like, oh.
well, it's
nice way to start.
Well, it's true if although sad. We have, of course, some players who are veterans of HGC coming here to play for us tonight. Not play for us, play for money for one thing. But we will be showcasing them. So we're going to start off the evening with Leftovers versus GermanPanzer. And Leftovers, tell us a bit about Leftovers, Joy K, because they're a pretty big name, aren't they?
Pretty big name. In the tweet I sent out earlier this week, I called them the Polish powerhouse. Yeah, they have a quite outspoken personality on their side, being Mopsio, tank player for them, if I'm correct. And yeah, they're quite big names that we have coming out. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, they're looking really strong. They've got Mopsio, they've got Link, they've got Potiboss. Some like names that people will be familiar with from HGC. They are playing for a cash prize. Let's talk about the prizes, because the All Hallows Cup prize fund, as viewers can see in that over there, is currently running at above Joy K's head. In fact, it is currently running at around 750 British pounds, which is about 850 euros, or I guess 950, getting on $1,000 US.
Wow.
So it's decent money, and you at home can contribute by donating somewhere down in the doobly-doo. There's a donate button, and all donations through there this weekend will go to the prize pool for the players.
Really? That's just... I think it's amazing to see even after it's been such a sad time for Heroes of the Storm, that community is just stepping in so strong and showing like, no, we love this game and it cannot die. And I think that, well, just we can look at this prize pool. I think that just shows how much community still cares about the players, about everyone involved, and we just want to keep this going.
Yeah, and I think the All Hallows Cup is not alone in that. There's going to be a whole bunch of other tournaments going on throughout the community, where the community are stepping up and supporting the pro scene.
Yeah.
So I think it's all looking, but for this weekend, the All Hallows Cup is definitely going to be the big event. I mean, you've recently been involved with the EU Nexus contest, haven't you? Like casting. Tell us what the sites you've seen there.
Oh, the sites I've seen there. Oh, Karis, I've seen some sites. So what we see two teams that are in here from the EU Nexus contest, being the champions. Oh my God, Team Russia. They're insanely strong. I've seen them play so nicely. Like their flow in play is amazing. Their execution is always there. The thing that separated them from the other teams was their map knowledge. The way they play maps, I've not seen any other team play like that. It's insane. From the camp timing to when they know when to go for an objective, when to give it up. They're a really strong team. So I'm really excited to see what they are going to do. Another team that we've seen play switched around some players is Team Germany. Team Germany, of course, has Loranes on tank, and we've seen Loranes make some amazing plays on Stitches. So I hope we get to see that tonight. They've swapped out their support Phil, who could not be here tonight, sadly, but we've got someone else coming up for that. And they've added one of my real life friends to their roster, being Dutch player Chelvin. I'm really excited to see how that's going to work out. And yeah,
Is that Chelvin formerly of EPG Frozen? Is that?
Yes, that is true.
Hmm. So I mean, these are names who've been in big teams around both the amateur scene and the pro scene. Really, so we're going to see some really high level play this weekend, aren't we?
I think so. Absolutely.
So, with that in mind, maybe we should show the viewers the brackets that we've got, how the tournament works, because it is a single elimination knockout tournament, as you can see on your screen now, viewers. We will be hosting on this channel today. We'll be hosting Leftovers versus GermanPanzer, or the team formerly known as Team Germany, but with some changes, and later on, we've got Skogsapor versus 2B. Another epic match coming up because Skogsapor seeded number 1 effectively because they won the previous Hallows Cup.
Yes, they did. Yeah. Yeah, they're here to defend their title, and they brought some new monkeys from the menagerie. They brought. No, I screwed up. I didn't. I thought they were supposed to bring Maka from Monkey Menagerie, but he has joined Team Sweden, in fact. So, yeah, I almost screwed that one up, but I realized in time.
That's fine. Yeah, so I mean, that's those.
It's good because they brought back Galnakuner, their old support player. So they're actually all here except for their tank to defend their title. That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's coming up after our first series, which will be Leftovers versus GermanPanzer. Now, obviously, like we were talking about, Leftovers probably coming in the favourite, being mostly former pro players. GermanPanzer though looked really strong in the EU Nexus contest, and they like you mentioned, getting Chelvin and Coco involved as well. So I think it's not going to be as straightforward as maybe some people would think. It looks like it might be a little bit close, though I would say Leftovers still looking like the favourite right now.
Yeah, I think it's a bit iffy to say that Leftovers is really favored. I don't know how much of these players have still been like frequently playing the game. I mean, you see, Team Germany just stepped out of the Nexus contest, so they're like still on a roll, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't know how much Mopsio and Blakitney have been playing off late. I don't know, so we're gonna see.
Yeah, we are, and that's the thing, is only ultimately the game can decide. Like, it all will come down to playing. We'll just talk a little bit about the series that are going on in on the other channel, the twitch.tv/Halloween Heroes. They've got main tank on flank versus Team Sweden. I mean, so main tank on flank again. Look, I mean, they're definitely big names in that team. They've got Smexy. They've got a whole bunch of
pros.
They've got
all the HSC. They call themselves Dignatic actually on Twitter. I saw that today, and yeah, I mean they've got they have Breeze on tank, Smexy on support. They have Shrimpy, that's the Fnatic, and then they have Vubi, and then they have Poilk. I think that's insane. They look really strong.
Yeah, I think that's. I think again, you'd have to say that probably main tank on flank probably looking, or as you say, Dignatic, looking a little bit like the favourites there against Team Sweden. But it's still everything to play for. I just going to see where we're up to in the map draft process. Do you know how we're getting on there, Joy K?
I will go and take a look for you straight away.
Yeah, so I'll just remind. I mean, the prize pool, £750. We're expecting it to climb a little bit. By the way, I haven't stopped to say thank you to all the followers. People have been following throughout the Oh, there's a comment in the Twitch chat from Larinus. I don't know what's happening, he says. So maybe we'll have a look, see what's going on there. But the
Hey Loranis, you have to get into Match Lounge too, because there the coin flip will be done and you get to ban out your map and stuff. I see you guys are already in the lobby, that's amazing. So yeah, good stuff, good stuff.
Yeah, so I think the players are getting set up just now. So we've got a few more minutes until the first draft will start. Every series in the All Hallows Cup is a best of 3 series, apart from the grand final, which will be best of 5. The way it works is there's a map pool of 9 battlegrounds. I think it's the last battleground pool that HGC had, actually. Rip HGC, but the battleground pool lives on, and the game lives on, and the game is looking better than ever. So that's the thing. HOTS is looking really strong at the moment.
HOTS is still looking hot and happening.
Hot and happening, indeed. But yeah, and the prize pool, like I was saying, it's running at £750-ish at the moment, but as it increases, the prize pool for first, second, and third place are going to increase. So, I believe I don't actually know the exact ratios, but obviously the biggest bulk goes to first place, and then there's a decent chunk for second place. Third place gets more of what might be called a token offering, and we do have the third place match decider on this channel tomorrow night after the semi-finals.
Yes.
So back to the match that's up first, Leftovers versus GermanPanzer. Like, how are you expecting these two teams to approach it differently? Is it the Leftovers are going to bring their pro knowledge, their kind of technical expertise, the brilliant micro, and if so, how are GermanPanzer going to respond to that?
To be honest, I have no idea. I'm ready to be surprised.
Yeah, no, I think
Can I say that? I'm ready to be surprised. I just hope, like, I can only say one thing. I hope Loranis gets stitches. That's all I hope for right now.
Yeah, is Larinus a Stitches main?
No, he's not. I don't know if he's a Stitches main, but he's just been doing so incredibly good. I don't know if anyone kept up here in the chat with the Nexus contest. But Malkin here, when he was casting the match, was losing his mind over it. It was just funny. And it got so much attention that some people started saying that Loranis was JPL's secret son. And it was just beautiful. Yeah, that's a good joke,
that's
right?
That's high praise. That's high praise indeed.
That's very high praise. So I just hope that he gets to do that one more time.
I mean, I remember those days when JPL was like the first player to whip out Stitches, and up until then, so I'd been playing Stitches in Hero League and getting flamed for picking Stitches, and because he was considered off meta, and then JPL picked him, and overnight Stitches became like the favorite hero, and people were saying, oh, you got to first ban Stitches and stuff like that, and because for viewers who maybe don't know, like JPL really pioneered the way of playing Stitches, and the olden days of Dignitas just dominating with the hero, and just following up those hooks like just on instinct. Just yes, JPL thrown a hook. Well, obviously somebody's coming back with it. Well, I hope we'll see some of the large lad this evening. I will just
lad.
The large lad.
So Stitches is the large lad, and what is ETC?
ETC is the best hero in the game, obviously. But
yeah, that too. He's also a massive lad.
He's a massive lad. Oh yeah, no, of course ETC is a massive lad.
He is a massive lad.
And Diablo is a wall banging lad. But that's mysterious. You've just disappeared. But I've lost my co-caster.
Yes, I don't know. I somehow lost connection, but I'm back.
Oh, you're back. That's good. I'm going to bring you back through the power of ghosts.
Through the power of...
Here you are. There you are. Sorry, viewers lost you for a second
there.
You turned into some LED background lights.
Did I? Awesome.
Yes, you did. But what was I saying? Oh, I was about to say about. But so first up is Leftovers versus GermanPanzer, and second up is Skogsapor versus To Be's Determined.
Yeah.
But in between, we have something very important. Do you know what we have in between, JK?
Giveaways.
We have a giveaway. We literally have a giveaway, and I believe, or I might be. This is one of these things where I might put my foot in my. I think it's for a €10 BattleNet code that you can spend on any BattleNet content.
Awesome stuff, right? Because then you can really spend it on anyone.
But I think it's on that anyway. It might. I may be slightly mistaken. It might be an Imperius bundle that's also being given away at some point. So we'll after the second match, we'll also have another giveaway. It's just giveaway city around here.
Yeah.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now, as a certain band said in the 90s/early 2000s. It was early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
You're looking at. I think you might be too young.
I think I'm a bit too young.
That's why. That's why you're
okay?
Joy K and I'm Daddy K. That's
yeah.
That's the gist of that. No, so we will have give it away now in between the two series. We're still Clayton saying, "Can you not spoil our strats?" Laurenas says, "Are you talking about my dad, JPL?" Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm reading it to the Twitch chat about a minute delay because of
I'm not spoiling your strats, Clayton. Don't worry.
The strats are just to win, right? I mean, that's usually my strat when I go into.
I think that's the best strat. The strat is to win.
The strat, yeah, the strat. Of course, the strat is to win, but no, but actually, in terms of real strats, what will happen? I think GermanPanzer, will feel under pressure. Like, despite what you said, they're not necessarily an underdog, and I don't expect this to be an easy game, an easy series for Leftovers, but. I think GermanPanzer are going to feel under pressure, and they might want to throw some ideas out there that maybe Leftovers won't be prepared for.
I like that idea.
So we're almost ready. Now let's tell us, Joy K, about the map bans, because I think there have been map bans taking place, and a map has in fact been picked. So, if you would like to tell us what maps have been banned.
I'm shaking my head in
protest. You don't think it has been? Okay.
I'm looking at Match Lounge 2. Am I looking at the wrong place?
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you we are in Infernal Shrines, so I don't know what the map bans are, but somewhere they are. And
but somewhere they are.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Look, at least we are going to Infernal Shrines.
But
Let's
we will
just leave the map bans behind for now.
So Infernal Shrines, I mean, because you and I both Heroes Lounge casters, we know that historically Infernal Shrines is the most picked map in Heroes Lounge. Is it also the most picked map in HGC when it existed?
I have not been an HGC caster, Carrots. I haven't looked up such numbers.
Okay, well, it seems pretty common. I'm sure the Twitch chat will tell us whether it's whether it existed or not, whether it was that popular. I know like Volskaya has also been showing a lot of popularity in recent months.
Yeah, that's true.
I believe one of the teams are just waiting for a sub. So that's why there's been a little bit of a delay so far. But don't worry, comrades, we will get the first series underway as soon as possible.
Don't worry, comrades, we've got this. We've got you guys covered.
So, Infernal Shrines. What does that tell you about their playstyle, though? Like, we said it's a popular map. Does that mean they're going for a macro playstyle? Does it mean they're going for
I'm trying to think to myself if they played this map before when I casted them.
I finally got hold of the information. By the way, I was which disappeared, which was over the rainbow. Oh, have you found it? Okay, so tell us what would the map
No. I'm reading. I'm reading what you just typed. I haven't found the info. I have no idea, but I have 2 eyes, so I just read what you typed in the lobby chat.
Okay, so well, I'll let everyone know what the situation is. The map Infernal Shrines was picked by Leftovers. That means they won the coin toss, and Dragonshire and Volskaya Foundry were banned. Each team got 1 map ban, and so like I was saying, Volskaya Foundry, very popular battleground choice as well. This is going to be Leftovers choices to go on Infernal Shrines. Very traditional map. There's nothing exotic that goes on really. It's like I say, you can play a bit of macro. You can have a Dahaka and an Abathur or something like that. But also, typically, you want to fight over those shrines. That's why we see the Alexstrasza coming out. That's why we see the Garrosh coming out, the Diablo.
Oh my god, somebody just entered this lobby, and it's not just anyone.
That's their substitute.
That is their substitute.
Whoa, okay.
Freaking out. He is like, what? Ladies and gentlemen, ADRD has just entered the lobby.
Well, yeah. So Leftovers.
I did not see that one coming. I did not see that one coming.
No, I mean I didn't either, and it's replacing Driabi, who was going to be their 5th player. So Leftovers have replaced Driabi with ADRD.
Yes.
We'll see how this goes. Like I say, if you're GermanPanzer right now, you're probably feeling, pretty intimidated. I think we'll see how it goes. We are just waiting to see if the teams are both ready. And then we'll be ready to crack on with the draft. It is a best of 3 series.
Yep.
So Infernal Shrines. So I'm expecting Diablo ban. I'm expecting things along with that. Maiev ban maybe. That's usually a pretty popular ban at the high level. And it looks like we are going to go finally into the draft in game number 1. But we're just waiting the final go ahead. But the I think when you're waiting, if you're GermanPanzer and you've been waiting around and you're thinking, oh, they're bringing a sub, and then suddenly ADRD appears from Team Method.
Yeah.
Well, okay. It's intimidating. There's big names in the All Hallows Cup for sure.
This is really intimidating stuff. I don't know. I had not seen. I didn't even know they were going to get a sub. Did you?
I did not know that, in fact, but here we go. I think we are in fact going into the draft in game number 1 in this best of 3 series, and it's going to be Leftovers drafting on the left, and on the right with first pick is GermanPanzer. I'm Karis and Joy K, and this is Joy K, as you can see on the screen.
Are you Karis and Joy K?
I nearly said I'm Karis and Joy K because it just says Karis and Joy K. No, it says Karis and Joy K. Whatever, you know who I am. Oh great, we've the minor technical issues again, but that's all right. We will just have a slight a slight delay. But I'm quite excited for this series. I'm excited for the whole All Hallows Cup. Like, this is going to be really high level teams. Some of the best teams in Europe.
Yep.
And some of potentially the worst casters in Europe. No.
Speak for yourself, mate.
No. I'm joking. Joy K and Daddy K.
I was asked by the EU Nexus contest.
Yeah, I've been asked by nobody at all. But no, we will get cracking soon enough. like I say, so Leftovers looking like the favourite, and do tell us in the Twitch chat who you think is going to win. But and if you do, by all means, if you disagree with that, then tell us and tell us why. But I'm expecting GermanPanzer to pull out some real threats here. Cheldin we know is a really strong player, consistently GM, right? Meneldor from SFD. Question mark.
Yeah, no. Project Hive actually was his last team. And
Project
then
Hive / SFD,
joined forces with when I could actually say, "Oh my God, it's finally happening! Heroes Lounge's finest team, Memeldor's meme machines."
Yes.
Yes.
Named in fact after Meneldor, but with some tweaking.
With a slight change to the name.
Yeah.
Happens.
In the way that Daddy K is named after Joy K. No.
No, if only.
Samu in the chat say, yeah, I'm Karis and Joy K, and you're just Joy K.
Oh, I'm just Joy K.
Twitch.tv/you are Joy K.
Yeah. Twitch.tv/IamJoyK. Go give this girl a follow.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And like I say, do stick around. We will have between after the game's finished, don't run off, viewers. We will have giveaways in between. I think we are almost ready to go into the draft again. So let's talk about what we're expecting in the draft here on Infernal Shrines, like in terms of bans. Are we like is Diablo going to get banned early? What about
Johnny Wall Banner?
And you can say. So we are in the draft for game number 1 in this best of 3 series. I'm Karis. Joy K is drinking, but she is Joy K.
And I'm drinking coffee. But I'm Joy K.
Twitch.tv/IamDrinkingCoffee. Anyway, GermanPanzer have the first ban. What are they going to ban against Leftovers?
I don't know. Is any of them a very outspoken one-trick? I don't think you can be. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're all going to be fit. Okay, I, in terms of called it, I literally called it. But I think
some familiar faces coming into the chat here. Galna Gunnar, my name is Wit Wim. Welcome all of you. Thank you for tuning in tonight.
Samu also says that your face cam is lagging. I think that's yeah, that's just technical.
My face has high latency.
Yeah, that's just Joy's face moves like this, like a. Why do you only operate at like 10 frames per second, Joy K?
So it's a lesson getting wrinkles.
Right, we actually have to respond to the draft. Medivh being banned is now that maybe
ban, yeah.
Yeah.
This is quite clear, right? The Medivh ban. This is what I'm saying. This is what they're going for. What's ultimate? What is the ultimate? What is Medivh the ultimate counter to? Also to Maiev, but something else.
Medivh's the counter to a lot of things. Garrosh, for example. But I mean, what did you have in mind?
Stitch.
Oh, of course! No, you're absolutely right. Sorry, yes, of course. The large lad. The large lad.
Stitches. Oh,
there's the Alex.
Garrosh. There's Alex.
Yeah, Alex is so nice on this map because you can just press Dragon Queen, force the shrine win usually, unless you're suffering. So you get you get early on the shrine, you get your 15-20 skeletons down, and then you press Dragon Queen. It's like, well, now you can't really fight into Dragon Queen, but you also can't wait because you'd have to give the point up. Blaze there, lovely.
Yeah, what we also see is with Anna open, they're not going for it. They're going for Malfurion. Yeah,
I mean, that's interesting because Anna, as I think you're suggesting, nice counter to Alexstrasza if you stand on those circles. If people group on the circles and it's so predictable when that heal's coming, boom, grenade, that's it. You've lost so much of your
The
healing.
thing is, yeah, but the thing is, you have to give up a source for your own team to heal as well, because grenade is a source of healing output for Anna, and it is quite a big cooldown as well. So you're giving up something quite huge, quite a huge ability to counter another ability. And then again, Malfurion still top tier support. Blaze, personal favorite to Minotaur. So
I think the thing.
and also let's not forget Bunker, pretty good counter to the Maiev Warden's Gate.
Yeah, so I think that Blaze pick was absolutely lovely. And I assume they're going for a main tank with that, and the Blaze is going to be the off lane.
Yeah.
And it is the large lad!
Oh,
Absolute large
yes.
lad.
There it is. This is what I was hoping for, and this is exactly what they played in the earlier stage, was having Clayton on KT, having Loranes play Stitches. Also, one other thing good to know, Kel'Thas, of course, great counter to Maiev, because what do you not want to do when you have Living Bomb on you?
Clump up.
Exactly. What is an ultimate where you clump up a lot?
Warden's Cage.
Yes.
And also against Alexstrasza, by the way. The people clump up for the heals,
great
and
counter.
Flame Strike is roughly Alexstrasza healing circle sized. So, yeah, this is looking like a pretty nice draft. Let's think about this for a second. The large lad, though, I'm always a bit uneasy when. I mean, maybe Laranas knows something that I don't. I'm always a bit uneasy about Stitches on Infernal Shrines, because when you're fighting on that shrine, the little skeletons get in the way. In contrast with Garrosh, by the way, whose throw cannot hit the little skeletons, it can only hit minions or heroes. So the Stitches hook could be blocked by those, so they have to fight in very specific positions on the map, and I think that puts a lot of pressure onto GermanPanzer to take the fight in specific places. But I mean, of course, we will see how that goes in practice. But I mean, what are your thoughts on the draft? Who do you think comes out better here?
It's hard. It's really hard because.
Of course, it's hard. That's why you paid the mega bucks.
On the side of leftovers, you've got amazing shrine clear, right? You've got a lot of pressure onto the Stitches as well, with Garrosh, with the Leoric. You have the early ultimate, but on the other side, you have such a nice synergistic draft for GermanPanzer. So it's gonna be really hard.
It will be really hard. Let's see how we go as we go into game number 1 in this best of 3 series. On the left-hand side, we have leftovers with Blakitny playing the Reyna, Potiboss playing the Janitilioric, Mopsio on Garrosh, Linked on Alexstrasza, and of course the curveball ADRD playing Junkrat.
My oh my, and on the right hand side for you, the team in red is GermanPanzer. We have Loranes, as I was telling you guys earlier, on the Stitches, Coco on Malfurion, Minotaur on Blaze, Clayton on Kel'Thas, and Chelvin on Maiev. And here's the first hook of the game! Here we go, going in, Maiev gets tossed in, fault of the Warden being used.
Yeah,
but my god.
Maiev got punished.
Too much to escape.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Garrosh got hooked in, then he got tether pulled back in, and he was getting quite punished, but the Alexstrasza heal was there. It topped him up a little bit, and then he turned around, threw Maiev in, and she was in trouble because there was just a whole. By that point, 2 teams were surrounding her, and eventually Maiev went down. So that initial engage from GermanPanzer not going great for them, but it's very early doors. It's 1 kill, certainly not the end of the world.
Oh, absolutely not.
So I see Death Knight in the chat from Memal Does Meme Machines as well. Saying pros in hots ? Lol. Well, I mean, these people, whoever wins the All Hallows Cup will be making money from it. So in that sense, there are pros, and there is things like Heroes Lounge Division S as well. So there's potentially still a pro scene in hots, and it's not over just yet. So Don't count it out. If Laranas looking for a hook here on Blakitny, making sure to do a little dance and avoid getting hooked by the large lad who is in teddy bear form today.
That he is.
My
Quite standard 4-man rotation, but you see that Leftovers is a bit on the lead here with the camp pickups. They already secured themselves level 4, picking up their second camp here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and it seems like Leftovers looking pretty confident in terms of map control. Mopsio going there, looking a bit aggressive onto Laranas' stitches. Oh, Coco, you have to be careful, my love.
Coco.
Yeah, and she can't get out of there because Mopsio shut the door. And yeah, I think even if she'd managed to stay alive for another half a second, there was going to be a Junkrat mine to blow her back in. So, unfortunate there for Coco and Malfurion. Great aggression there from Leftovers. They knew that this Garrosh early game is going to be so dominant, and they just put the pressure where they thought GermanPanzer would be, which is on their own camp, trying to get some value. By the way, this Junkrat mine here going to be a constant threat if any fight kicks off around that camp, but I don't think they will contest. I don't think either team's going to contest it for now.
Doesn't seem to be. Oh, it's being popped just now.
Yeah. So nothing too exotic going on just yet, but it is 2-0 in favor of Leftovers. Now, crucially, this is where Kael'thas is absolutely vital. Oh, the hook is absolutely huge onto Blakitny, and the tether back from Maiev as well. Can they finish off the job? The Kael'thas Flame Strike's there, but the Dragon Queen comes out.
This is a really early Dragon Queen. GermanPanzer is ahead here in the in the Shrine Clear, and if they pop it now, maybe it was actually the hook that forced out this Dragon Queen, because it's gone now, and there's quite even actually. Leoric has also come down. Here is Minaldor looking to see if he can get it engaged together with Maiev. Maiev is going in here, trying to get a tether out, taking a lot of damage. Mopsio rotating on, throwing the Maiev back, and
eventually
Maiev's E was not enough to get Shelvin to safety again. Oh, the hook! It's a swing, and sadly a miss. Man, Leftovers is looking so low here.
Yeah, and I think there's a chance for GermanPanzer to just finish off the Shrine using the Kael'thas. Oh, but Laranas, the large lad thrown in, and he can't finish off Blakitny. I mean, you're right, that hook that the Laranas threw at Blakitny a second ago just went under Reyna's left armpit. And he felt that screaming past. And if he'd caught, then maybe Reyna dies, and maybe then they can contest the objective 4v4. And given the advantage that they got with that Kael'thas early on, that might have gone in GermanPanzer's favour. But so close as it was, it does eventually go over to Leftovers.
That it does indeed. Shelvin baiting over the Punisher. Mopsio really stepping up here, see if he can get that throw. Their Talenteer ahead. Level 8 to level 6. Mopsio taking a lot of damage here, forced to back out. Cannot play this aggressive anymore if he is so low on hit points.
He can't, and especially because Linked on Alexstrasza was a bit out of mana. But the thing is, just by zoning, by looking aggressive, baiting out some resources, and then forcing GermanPanzer back a little bit, what Garrosh did, Mopsio on Garrosh did, is allow the Punisher to take a fort, which for a first Punisher is quite a big result. So I think Leftovers are going to be feeling pretty confident right now.
They should be, with level 10 approaching soon. Hook comes in, and here's what Mopsio does. He takes the hook and he turns it around into his own favor.
Yeah, I mean, that's the difficulty that Laranas on Stitches is going to have here, is if Mopsio's Garrosh can keep blocking those hooks, they're not going to get any value really, because 9 times out of 10 Garrosh is going to be able to walk away from that, and in fact often he's throwing someone else into trouble as well. Imagine if Laranas gets the hook on Garrosh and like Kael'thas is standing next to him, that could be the Kael'thas gets thrown in and immediately deleted.
That's the death of Kael'thas, absolutely.
So it's a really difficult job here for Laranas because, oh, by the way, the top lane, the Entomb was used to try and catch Blaze, and it wasn't enough. The drain soul damage, even with Mopsio there to provide some stuns, Blaze manages to survive for now. And in fact, in terms of HP trading, it sort of went both ways. So I think solid play from Meneldoros Blaze there to survive that
Absolutely.
gank attempt by 2 level 10 heroes.
Absolutely. All right, we're seeing the Bruiser Camp being picked up here by GermanPanzer level 10. Not yet here. Loran is looking for a hook. Swing and a miss.
Yep. But I respect Coco having faith in Laranas's hooks. She's throwing those roots down as soon as the hook goes out. Just, you know, backing that eventually that's going to hit a juicy target. And when it does, that root is going to be so impactful on absolutely blowing somebody up. Alex Straza does not have a cleanse to deal with. Here's the root, in fact, but Garrosh has the unstoppable.
Here's the throw.
But they do have level 10 now. There's a chance to start punishing. The Cleansing Flame, though, healing Mopsio and damaging Laranas at the same time. The Bile is down, trying to create some space, but the Entomb is so nasty. Laranas has nowhere left to run. But eventually, both teams getting away from there, having traded some ultimates. Hook onto Leoric, but again, he's got unstoppable as well. Meneldor coming in.
Meneldor going in for the charge. Black Kidney taking a lot of damage here, forced to back up a little bit. Shrine is on the top lane. It's about to spawn. Level 12 versus level 10. Dragon Queen still available, of course.
Yeah, and that's going to be the major impactful thing on this shrine. It is even talents, though, and that's probably the best chance GermanPanzer are going to have for a while, so they need to start getting this shrine done quickly with Kael'thas. Oh, but Mopsio is flanking, looking for trouble. Here comes the Riptire as well. Can it catch anyone? Blaze tries to get out of there, but Stitches does not have an escape like Blaze does. In fact, Meneldor's been thrown in.
Oh, what an Entomb coming out here with Clayton and Coco in it. The bunker goes down, but the bunker is so far forward that it just... it's not really an escape anymore. Mopsio throws Link in here, but Link takes a lot of damage in the process, starting to tank this fort.
Yeah,
Dragon Queen running out.
That's not gone well. That's not gone well at all for GermanPanzer. No. We're just seeing superb execution in these team fights from leftovers, showing their mechanical prowess in these fights. Again and again, if Chelvin goes in, he's just getting absolutely torn apart and locked down, and that's going to be an issue for Chelvin. Like when Maiev goes in, there's just nothing that can help Maiev in that case.
Wow. Yeah, there is a Vault of the Wardens. There is yeah, there is an E ability where I forgot the name of.
Yeah, no, she does have the escape. Yeah, but
yes.
The problem is
but
the
lockdown is simply there. If you have Warlord's Challenge, if you have Entomb, you have Junkrat Mines. There's so much.
This hook on Garrosh though.
Oh my god.
Over the wall, throwing Stitches over the wall in response.
Oh
and
my god, he throws Chelvin out as well. There's Tranquility, and Riptire is coming in. It's a huge Warlord challenge. They take a lot of damage, and Mopsio is still in base here.
This is absolutely savage.
To kill. What is this? This is just a slaughterhouse. Mopsio taking absolutely the big advantage here from that hook into the base. Manages to get his team here like 2 kills. Entomb goes down, connects onto Meneldor, but he can't just get out.
That's absolutely terrifying if you're on GermanPanzer. They've hooked Garrosh in, and 3 of them have died. Again, they hook Garrosh. The one's cage there. Can that lock Mopsio in place? Maybe it can't, though. Leoric is doing so much zoning on the backliners of GermanPanzer. They've got to get out there. Maiev already dead again. This is proving absolutely devastating for Maiev. 3 deaths now for her. But the hook!
Oh, here's the hook. There's the root. That's a kill. Bunker goes down. We did it, he says. We did it, says Loranis. Charge going out onto Leoric, but he is just mopping away.
They have got themselves a kill that will give them some reassurance. On the downside, they're 3 levels down and a keep down and 2 forts down. I think that's going to feel quite uneasy for them. What they maybe need to do now is just fortify very fast while Rain is dead, before Idiardi can take their final fort. But no.
Which he just managed to do.
Yeah, and immediately mines himself safely to the other side of the map. Solid play from Idiardi there, just securing macro pressure, as well as the team fight advantages that they've been winning consistently. And this is the thing: is now what do GermanPanzer do? Then they're level 13 against level 16, and they're kind of in a hard place here.
They're in a really hard place. The thing is, do you want to take a fight now?
I mean,
almost level 17. That means that you're almost helping hand goes out, but it doesn't connect.
I think Kael'thas is okay anyway, so it's.
Yes, he seems to be fine. Seems that leftovers want to take this bush. One thing is that Loranes has to be really careful here to like not hook Mopsio again, because every time when the hook connected to Mopsio,
even when
he's just turned his hook around into an engage for himself.
Even when he was into the enemy base on his own.
Yeah, and he managed to live there. By the way.
Yeah, well, of course, and got killed in response. Of course, that's the thing with Riptide and Cleansing Flame, both good at engaging remotely. Here comes the Bile now to try and stop leftovers from engaging too hard. The Bile trying to control Mopsio, stop him walking away. He's lost half of his HP already, but Kael'thas is in the Entomb. Is the Riptide ready to go? He's stuck. The bunker's available. Kael'thas could get in there to try and save himself, but the bunker's gone down. Stitch has got to start walking away from this Riptide.
Oh, beautiful dodge by Chelvin on that Riptire. The kidney tanking that Pyroblast like a champ. But my oh my, GermanPanzer, you are looking so low. It's time to retreat here.
They are the helping hand getting Clayton out of those Junkrat mines. And eventually, no members of GermanPanzer have died. But it is still, you would have to say, leftovers looking very dominant. Hooks the Garrosh in again.
Here's the hook onto Mopsio. Clayton gets thrown in. Big heals coming out from Coco, but it's not enough. Ronaldo being shanked here. Looking really low as well. Falls.
And I think this might be all she wrote. Laranas gets mined into trouble. Hooks the Rainer in though. Maybe they can get a kill into Blakitny. No, he's still on full HP. The Maiev going in, trying to cause some problems for Mopsio, but there's an Alex Strauss healing circle there. It's just not going to be enough. The core's just taking damage after damage. Rainer's just standing there, chipping it away. And
Bile is up again, by the way. Blakitny gets hooked into the Bile, really slowed. Falls.
Yeah, that's doubled the number of kills for GermanPanzer. They're now looking like they might be able to get some more kills if they can stop Mopsio from escaping.
Mopsio, they want that kill. He's looking low. He's got 35 armor though. Clayton looking really low. It's a big Warlord's challenge. Mana Addict is there though, but it's not enough to live. Warden's Cage gets the kill onto Lyric, gets the kill onto Mopsio. Really well played here by GermanPanzer.
It's 3 for 1, and they might be looking for more. I think Alex Strauss is mounted, and Junkrat can just mine himself away, so
yeah, after
they'll be
16,
fine.
Like, he's a kind of a pseudo global, so he doesn't really need to mount up anymore. Here comes the hook. It's a swing and a miss.
But crucially, let's be fair to GermanPanzer. Sorry, they've got themselves back into this game. Fair play to them. They're absolutely doing value. Stitch is going for that fishing hook, by the way, at level 16. So we might see some of those big range hooks. Looking to catch Alex Strauss out potentially if she hovers around here.
I mean, she is showing here.
She takes to the skies where she can't be hooked.
Because Leoric is in here, and my oh my, Chelvin taking a lot of damage. Coco already on the retreat here.
It's two
heroic putrid Bile, hooking Potiboss in. Beautiful, unstoppable to escape that route.
Now, this is where GermanPanzer needs to put pressure onto this shrine. This is their last fight before leftovers are level 20. They need to be getting a result now. The Entomb's absolutely huge onto Kael'thas. He can't get into the bunker. Now he can though. The Entomb's down. Kael'thas is going to hide in there for as long as he can. Tries to come out, start getting some damage done. Potiboss falling pretty low, but the Dragon Queen giving so much healing. The Garrosh stuns again and again. That's the end of Coco. The Riptire's coming. It's finishing off Stitches. It's 2 kills already. The Pyroblast isn't going to finish off Blakitny.
Pyroblast on Blakitny. It's not enough. Oh, he manages to finish off Chelvin. Clayton is not even trying to run anymore. Pops the Mana Addict, but he knows he's done for, as is this game at this point.
Yeah, this is
Punisher, level 20, going over 2 leftovers. Comfortably walking on the core 3 levels ahead.
I think there's no point in us examining Laranas there with the banter. To get back to base. Yeah, they've still got siege camps to do. Why are they going for core?
Yeah, hello guys, they're still a keep in the bottom lane. Okay, please take that.
No, but Link saying he's Skipazzi. The Bile comes out, gets thrown in. That might be advantageous, but with a core on 9%, even the best Bile in the world isn't going to save that game. That's game number 1 going over to, of course, leftovers. That looked pretty convincing, we'd have to say. Solid play there from leftovers. They looked, really strong there. 20 kills to 4 was the final count. Joy K, what's your take?
My take is that was some execution, really well played by leftovers. Being able to, the thing I found the most admiring to see was just seeing that Mopsio got hooked every time and managed to get that engage, Oh, you want to hook me? Fine, I'll turn this into my own engage. I am in your backline right now. This is where I want it to be. So I will just take your kill path and I will just throw it into my team.
Yeah, and that was the issue. That was the biggest issue, I would say, for GermanPanzer, is every time they hooked someone, it was normally Garrosh, and he normally threw someone out, and it was not, that's not what you want, is a kill for the enemy team from your hook.
Yeah.
So, if you're on, let's say you're on GermanPanzer, what are you going to do differently right now to respond to that?
Ban Garrosh, perhaps.
That's definitely an option.
Hmm?
No, that's definitely an option, but I wouldn't say Garrosh was the only factor there. I think.
No. The thing is, just Garrosh is a tank that can do so much on his own. He doesn't need a lot of setup.
Well, we saw actually, for example, to back you up on that, the towards the end of that game, when the window that GermanPanzer had back into the game briefly, they got a kill at their core and they started chasing Garrosh, and he turned around, he throws a minion onto 2 members of GermanPanzer, and then he taunts them, and that's he managed to get then leftovers managed to get a counter kill, even though they should really have been on the back foot, because the lockdown from Garrosh there was so crucial. So Mopsio's Garrosh was definitely terrifying. I've heard that we're going for game 2 to Braxis Holdout.
Yes, that we are.
AKA Brexit Holdout.
Braxis Holdout, yeah.
Let's.
They may have a strat in mind here.
Yeah, I think it's a map where you can do some niche strategies. You can play a bit differently. On the other hand, yeah, I mean, is that what they need? By the way, I think Stitches could again be a good pick for Laranas.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they would have to ban the Garrosh in that case, and go and leave open or something like a Diablo. By the way, I don't favor Diablo on this map. I think it's nowhere near. Maybe
it's nowhere near as good as Garrosh is.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, or at least nowhere near as good as it's on, as Diablo is on Infernal Shrine. So, I think we might see a Garrosh ban and letting Diablo through by. I was going to say by GermanPanzer, but it occurs to me actually GermanPanzer don't have first pick anymore because they've got the map pick here.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting. Some interesting chat going on, which we won't read out.
Interesting chat going on here, definitely.
So what was I saying? So I think allowing the Diablo could be the way forwards, and then still going for the Stitches themselves, and just not allowing that Garrosh. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a Garrosh ban here from GermanPanzer. But the thing is, the Garrosh wasn't the only factor. Like Maiev did get shut down, kind of by everything, and Yeah, I'm
The
a
displacement on the side of leftover was definitely a problem. The Q for Raynor, the Junkrat with his displacement, Garrosh, Entomb for Leoric. Like there was so much that they could do. They had so many good tools to work with.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's. I think it's difficult. It's difficult to know what they could do. I mean, to some extent, they got more outplayed than outdrafted. I think the Garrosh was a great response to Stitches, and in particular the way Mopsio played Garrosh did just shut down any idea of getting those hooks. I think the map made that harder as well. Here on Braxis, I don't think you'd be able to play the same way, and I think Stitches does offer something a bit different here. But we'll of course see how that goes.
Yes, we will.
But Braxis Holdout is quite a draft dependent, map. So draft is going to play a big role here. By the way, the Alexstrasza, this is the. By the way, GermanPanzer looked really like they were doing pretty well at the start of that last game. And
the thing was also the rotations from leftovers were just so on point.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Whenever there would be, whenever the 4-man would either choose to put or in the mid lane, Yorick would immediately come down, and I think that's also something to really watch for. Is if you're being, if you have to like really watch your rotations versus teams like this.
You do, and I think there will be an element of GermanPanzer feeling under pressure from being against what might be called big names.
Banning the show here. Let's see if we get a Gal ban next.
Oh, Murky banned in response, so yeah. No Murky coming
Gal
out
is
today.
still open. Well, there's the Gal ban.
So, the question in the chat was, did the KL Plus team win? KT Maiev combo OP. No, KT Maiev did not win. And now Leftovers have got Maiev. Let's see if they can maybe get a little bit more value out of it. Depends again on the picks. Garrosh was open, by the way, so that Garrosh was available. I wonder if maybe we'll see GermanPanzer going for the Garrosh, controlling the Maiev as Mopsio did to Maiev last game.
Nope. We're going to see. Oh, there is the Garrosh.
So that's a reasonable. I think that's a reasonable first two picks for GermanPanzer, but they are still going to be feeling a little bit under the cosh against the Maiev. Maiev in the hands of some of the names we can see on Leftovers is going to be absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, this has to be really, really terrifying to play into. Malfurion and a Nubarak. And Nubarak is a really strong tank into Garrosh.
Yes, I think a Nubarak's just a really strong tank in general. But what I particularly like about the comp of Leftovers right now is Maiev's going to go in, pull people into a nice focal point, and then a Nubarak's going to go pop onto that point. Everyone's going to be stunned for a million years. There's going to be a Malfurion roots on top, and then that's it.
There's no one to run. Nowhere to run. Probius ban.
But they won't be able to drop Probius on top of that. That's something.
There's not going to be a lot of beep to add on to that.
To be fair, Probius can be pretty devastating on this map, but it's actually pretty challenging for the wave clear. I don't think it was likely to get picked up, but...
I mean, the thing is, the hero with the highest pick rate in the EU Nexus contest was actually Probius.
That's a nice little factoid for you.
Never have I ever casted so many games where a Probius appeared.
Well, that's something to think about. Maybe maybe that's what they were thinking about. The Genji, this is the Genji map. So I know Genji's been nerfed 1 million times. He's still strong on this map because of.
He's still OP.
His
it
faster.
Doesn't matter. They can nerf that hero to the ground, and it will still be OP.
And in particular, this map, his fast ability to rotate, and the ability to do the boss in about 3 seconds flat. Genji, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
I'm feeling a little bit nervous for GermanPanzer given the circumstances. That's okay.
That's dirty.
Rexar, we know, is dominant in the solo lane and controlling it. Now there are responses to that. I think Leoric should be able to handle Rexar for the most part.
Leo. Like there, it's a pure skill matchup. If you put Lyric against Rexar in the solo lane, I think it's purely a skill matchup. A good Lyric wins, but a good Rexar wins. Do you know what I mean?
Sonya, on the other hand, I think Sonya's going to feel a bit under the pressure.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit nervous again.
Yeah, so am I. Okay, but we're gonna see because we're going into the second match here.
I think
Leftovers versus GermanPanzer.
Yeah, and if GermanPanzer lose this, they are not coming back tomorrow. Whereas if Leftovers win this, they are definitely coming back tomorrow for the semi-finals, and a pretty good shot at winning some of our juicy prize pool, which you can donate to using the button down there somewhere.
Is it under me or was it on top of my head?
I think it's underneath you, but to be honest, I don't actually know because I don't have the thing open. There's a donate button somewhere, and you can donate to the prize pool. And we're okay, so we're on decent money.
Be sure to click that. Every little bit is of course appreciated, and that adds up to a prize pool and making it possible that maybe we may have a third place prize.
So, with that in mind, let's go into game number 1 in this best of 3 series. With on the left, we have Leftovers with Linked there playing the Malfurion. We have Blakitny playing the Maiev. We have Potibos playing the Rexar. We have Mopsio this time on Anubarak. And contrary to what the faces just showed you, we do not have DAB, but instead we have ADRD. So, Joy, introduce the teams for us on the right, please.
Oh yes. Once again for you in red is Loranis on Garo Shellscream. Coco, this time not playing a support, but playing a cool Dan. Shelvin on Genji. Clayton, this time on the support, playing Tyrande. And in the top lane, we've got Minaldor playing Sonya.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that top lane is going to be very difficult for Minaldor. It's not clear necessarily how he's going to deal with that Rexar just holding the point and having stuns for days with Misha, or rather I should say Misha holding the point and Rexar just soaking at the same time.
Yeah.
The bottom lane, though, I tell you what the weakness is in Leftovers comp for me is they don't have a great wave clear for the Zerg. Now Maiev does have the ability to go chop 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 chop, but it's not as strong as say a Gul'dan. So I think there's a chance that if GermanPanzer can win a Zerg wave, they could put a lot of pressure with it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I have to agree with you fully. Like, if they still had their Vayner, like Vayner has that bit more wave clear, but then they have Rexar, Zarya, Maiev. Maiev does not have that great wave clear, as you just said. So yeah, I'm curious to see how that's going to play out if they get a full Zerg wave against them. If they get a full Zerg wave against them, that is.
Yeah, I think that's it. Might depend on how ADRD Zarya plays. By the way, Zarya going for the grenade build. The throws are coming out again and again from Loranis Garrosh here.
Oh, the burrow charge onto Coco. The gate is open. Shelvin is here. Looking to get some damage in. Hunter's Mark going down on Blakitny, and he is just getting reset after reset here on his Q.
Yeah.
That's
a huge throw onto Linked. Yeah.
Oh, but Genji and Coco looking so low here. Overwatch button used for Shelvin, but not for Coco because he's not playing an Overwatch hero. Or she, excuse me.
Yeah, Coco, she managed to survive for a decent amount of time, but eventually that was too much. The thing is, Laranas's Garrosh is getting those throws, and the response is the response is twofold. One, Zarya shields whoever's been thrown, thereby charging up ADRT, but also Anubrak and Maiev just dive in, and there's that clumping up from the Maiev tether with the pop from Anubrak that we talked about.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the follows we're getting, by the way. I can't announce them all right now because because we're in the middle of the game, but we have a lot of follows coming in. Thank you to everyone who's following the channel. But so that Maiev combo with Anubrak is really nice, and Zarya is saving the throws. Look again, Anubrak gets thrown, but Zarya puts a shield. That's just Zarya energy. I mean, Anubrak's barely lost any HP when you consider the heals as well.
Yeah, and Hunter's Mark was even used on that. Loranes is just trying to get past, but he's just getting completely bodied here by Kidney on the Maiev. He's getting a ton of resets, and with all the slows coming out, there's just no getting away from it. And that's 2 kills. And Loranes is looking really low as well. And that's not good if you're a Garrosh, and that means 3 kills.
Yeah, that was this is exactly just a perfect execution. Blakitny pulls the whole of GermanPanzer into a line, and then Anubrak comes in and stuns them all twice using both of his abilities, and it was like a three-man stun both times, and then eventually that's 3 kills and a fort, and they're getting control of the Zerg, at least in the bottom lane.
Yes, they are. In the meantime, Chelvin took his reindeer for a tour to the top lane, taking that point, taking now this siege camp that gives minus armor. This should give Sonya a bit more pressure into the lane, giving Mildor the possibility to hold this point, at least versus this relentless bear and his owner.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, Mildor's done a great job of holding this top lane so far. Misha's been killed, in fact, as well. So now there's a bit of pressure potentially. You know, it's 5 versus 4.5 while Misha's dead, although she's going to be back pretty soon. However, it's still control on the point. Anubrak gets thrown in. Again, it's just not really the target they want to get thrown in. Mopsio just gets shielded and then burrows out. Safe as houses. Now Garrosh is under pressure here. Can they catch the Garrosh? The Indomitable has been used, allowing Garrosh to walk away for now. But Mildor doesn't have an Indomitable, so he can't do that. The tether, though, is absolutely huge on Anubrak, who doesn't have another burrow left. And then the root's on top.
Oh, they're bodying them into the gate. There's just no getting away here. The only one that can get away is Chelvin on Genji, because he's playing an Overwatch hero and he's got Overwatch buttons.
Yeah, absolutely savage from both from Blakitny and Mopsio.
Yeah, they're playing this so well.
Yeah, and I think this is literally going to be 100% Zerg for. I mean, unless something changes very drastically very soon, it's going to be 100% Zerg.
Being popped here, Coco. Nice save by Loranes, throwing Coco back.
I mean, I don't know what can GermanPanzer do here. The Mildor Sonya is doing an absolutely fantastic job of controlling the solo lane.
Sure
Yeah.
that they don't get the point here, but Mildor is like all by himself here with the whole of leftovers rotating down. Loranes is taking control of the top point. Level 10 is almost here though for leftovers.
Yeah.
And that's a huge talent here to be down upon.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a real problem if they get the Zerg with that level 10 advantage, like you say. Oh, Sonya is in a cocoon. This is not looking good here for Minotaur. When he wakes up, he's going to be in real trouble. The Tauron stun coming out to try and provide some space. Minotaur's managed to, I was going to say leap out, but of course it's thrown out into the fray.
Spears back in, boys. You don't have level 10.
Yeah.
Boys. Into the fray, or well, out of the fray, is not available yet, so they just have to retreat now. With a bruiser camp and a siege camp on their keep wall, this is not nice.
It's not nice at all. Oh, but here comes the Warden's Cage into the keep. Oh, with nasty engagement Manubrak on top. The Tranquility's there, keeping every member alive onto leftovers. Garrosh has been executed. Misha there with a stun onto Clayton. Can they catch the Tyrande as well?
Clayton, really beautiful stun here, but is it going to be enough, mate? You're going to run, and you're going to run, and Misha is going to jump you. Hungry, hungry bear.
That's not gone well. That's not gone well for GermanPanzer at all. They're now really under the cosh. It looks like leftovers are going straight for the core. They're not even waiting for the Zerg. They haven't even bothered to get the beacons. They're just going to try to finish the game right now. But the respawn timers are so short. If the level 10 could be got for GermanPanzer, they would be so able to come back into this. But they don't have it. There's nothing they can do.
No, because there's just... The core is just going down, and they have an Ubrak who can just keep spawning the beetles here. And Minotaur's trying to do what he can, but there's only so much that a Sonya can do.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the end of the game and the end of GermanPanzer's dreams for the All Hallows Cup. Indeed, Coco, she can't handle the Maiev damage and the Malfurion damage as well. She manages to get away to the fountain, but her core does not survive. GG, well played to leftovers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was pretty devastating.
That was pretty devastating indeed.
That was a 2-0. Now, we said the leftovers were coming in the favourite. I have to say they looked really strong here. Just everything about it, such controlled execution. Fine, I think to credit to GermanPanzer, they've taken it in good spirit, but it's still a 13-0 defeat. They did not make it to level 10 in game number 2, and that's got to feel like a pretty crushing defeat there. But you know, credit to GermanPanzer for showing up and, like I say, a good attitude, and they've delivered, I would say, a pretty good performance in game number 1, where it was a bit closer, although still a convincing performance by leftovers.
Yeah.
I think we're going to take a short break while we... No, we're not. We're going to do the giveaways. We're not going to take a break yet.
Giveaways! Yeah! We've got giveaways.
Yes, we have to wait. I think the giveaways are coming up very shortly, so don't go anywhere. We will have a giveaway as soon as we can. Just still waiting. FlutterL saying, great to see Mopsio and ADRD on the same team again. Yes, absolutely. Somebody in the chat was asking to see the builds. I will show you the builds on screen in a second, as soon as I can. I mean, honestly, the difficulty with the builds thing is that the highest level and the highest talent tier in the game was level 10. I think we can't actually show the builds on screen, but if you have specific talent requests, I can tell you. But there will be giveaways very soon. Do you know anything about that, Joy K? It's okay to say no if you don't.
I wouldn't dare say no. What?
No, but we do have a giveaway of. Oh, I'm going to. I have to find out. I believe our friendly moderator is going to sort that out for us momentarily. But until then, what I think we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break and just show some of the highlights from that series. So don't go anywhere. There will be a giveaway in just a couple of minutes, and in the meantime, enjoy these clips from the series you just watched. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, and then we'll have, as well as giveaway, a second series, which of course will be Skogsapor against To Be's Determined.
To Be's Determined.
That's not as saying to be determined. It's to be's determined, as in the plural of the insect twice.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Right.
Back in a second.
little bit. Shrine is on the top lane. It's about to spawn. Level 12 versus level 10. Dragon Queen still available, of course.
Looking for trouble. Here comes the Riptire as well. Can it catch anyone? Blaze tries to get out there, but Stitches does not have an escape like Blaze does. In fact, Meltor's been thrown in.
Oh, what an Entomb coming out here with Clayton and Coco in it. The bunker goes down, but the bunker is so far forward that it just... it's not really an escape anymore. Oh
over the wall! Oh, throwing Stitches over the wall in response.
Oh
and
my god, he throws Chelvin out as well. There's Tranquility, and Riptire is coming in. It's a huge Warlord challenge. They take a lot of damage, and Mopsio is still in base here.
This is absolutely savage.
To kill. What is this? This is just a slaughterhouse. Mopsio taking absolutely the big advantage here from that hook into the base. Manages to get his team here like 2 kills. Entomb goes down, connects onto Minotaur, but he can't just get out.
That's absolutely terrifying if you're on GermanPanzer. They've hooked Garrosh in, and 3 of them have died. Again, they hook Garrosh. The one's caged there. Can that lock Mopsio in place? Maybe it can't though. Leorix is doing so much zoning on the backliners of GermanPanzer. They've got to get out there. Maiev already dead again. This is proving absolutely devastating for Maiev. 3 deaths now for her. But the hook!
Oh, here's the hook. There's the root. That's a kill.
Leftovers from engaging too hard. The Bile trying to control Mopsio. Stop him walking away. He's lost half of his HP already, but Kael'thas is in the Entomb. Is the Riptide ready to go? He's stuck. The bunker's available. Kael'thas could get in there to try and save himself, but the bunker's gone down. Stitch has got to start walking away from this Riptire.
Oh, beautiful dodge by Chelvin on that Riptire. The kidney tanking that Pyroblast like a champ. But my oh my, GermanPanzer, you are looking so low. It's time to retreat here.
They are the helping hand getting Clayton out of those Junkrat mines, and eventually no members of GermanPanzer have died. It's just not going to be enough. The core's just taking damage after damage. Reyna's just standing there chipping it away. And
Bile is up again, by the way. The kidney gets hooked into it. Bile really slowed. Falls.
yeah, that's doubled the number of kills for GermanPanzer. They're now looking like they might be able to get some more kills if they can stop Mopsio from escaping.
Mopsio, they want that kill. He's looking low. He's got 35 armor though. Clayton looking really low. It's a big Warlord's challenge. Mana Addict is there though, but it's not enough to live. Warden's Cage gets the kill onto Lyric, gets the kill onto Mopsio. Really well played here. Beautiful and unstoppable to escape that route.
Now, this is where GermanPanzer needs to put pressure onto this shrine. This is their last fight before Leftovers are level 20. They need to be putting something, getting a result now. The Entomb's absolutely huge onto Kael'thas. He can't get into the bunker. Now he can though. The Entomb's down. Kael'thas is going to hide in there for as long as he can. Tries to come out, start getting some damage done. Potiboss falling pretty low, but the Dragon Queen giving so much healing. The Garrosh stuns again and again. That's the end of Coco. The Riptire's coming. It's finishing off Stitches. It's 2 kills already. The Pyroblast isn't going to finish off the kidney.
Pyroblast off the kidney. It's not enough. Oh, he manages to finish off Chelvin. Clayton is not even trying to run anymore. Pumps the Mana Addict, but he knows he's done for, as is this game at this point. Bodied here by Kidney on the Maiev. He's getting a ton of resets and all the slows coming out. There's just no getting away from it. And it's 2 kills. And Uranus is looking really low as well. And that's not good if you're a Garrosh, and that means 3 kills.
Yeah, that was this is exactly just a perfect execution. Kidney pulls the whole of GermanPanzer. Indomitable has been used, allowing Garrosh to walk away for now, but Meltor doesn't have an Indomitable, so he can't do that.
Alright, we are back, and we've got for you guys a giveaway. First giveaway that we have is a balance code, a €10 balance code that you can spend in the Blizzard store. If you want to take part in this giveaway, then you can type out !ticket space 1, because then you can have a ticket. And then that means that you can join in on our little giveaway, and we will draw a winner after the break. I think. Karis.
Yes, I think we will give it. We'll have again another 2-minute break after this, and then we will then give away to the actual giveaway. But just let's just have a quick recap while we're here, like about the highlight of that series. You know, what for you was the crucial factor in Leftovers securing their victory?
the way they
The way that
just played team fights.
yeah, I think it did seem to come down to mechanical skill, didn't it? And I wonder if that's going to be kind of the biggest factor, maybe in some of the, for example, in the main tank on flank versus sorry, main tank on flank. That spoke out. Main tank on flank versus Team Sweden.
Yeah, which also ended into a 2-0, by the way.
Yeah. Well, that's not so surprising. I think we'd have to say. I mean, nothing. I mean, Team Sweden very strong as well, but like, there's strong and then there's extra strong. I'm sort of describing it like mouthwash or something, or chewing gum, but chewing mint.
Like
but,
peppermints.
Yeah,
they're strong and they're super strong. Yeah.
Well, with that in mind, we'll go to a short break. We'll be back in 2 minutes, and we'll have the results of the giveaway, and we will bring our second series at some point of the night, which is going to be Skogsapor versus 2B's Determined, which I think looking going to be a bit closer than our first series.
Yeah, I think so too. Really looking forward to that one.
Yes, so don't go anywhere. We will be back with a second series to decide who's going to go up against Leftovers in tomorrow's semi-final. So stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly. Tony Brack, who doesn't have another burrow left, and then the roots on top.
Oh, they're bodying them into the gate. There's just no getting away here. The only one that can get away
here for Minotaur. When he wakes up, he's going to be in real trouble. The Tyrann's done coming out to try and provide some space. Minotaur's managed to, I was going to say leap out, but of course he's thrown out into the fray.
Spears back in, boys. You don't have level 10.
Yeah.
Boys. Into the fray, or, well, out of the fray, is not available yet, so they just have to retreat now. With a bruiser camp and a siege camp on their keep wall, this is not nice.
Oh, but here comes the Warden's Cage into the keep! Oh, with nasty engagement, Manubrak on top. The Tranquility's there, keeping every member alive onto Leftovers. Garrosh has been executed. Misha there with a stun onto Clayton. Can they catch the Tyrant as well?
Clayton, really beautiful stun here, but is it going to be enough, mate? You're going to run, and Misha is going to jump you, hungry bear.
That's the game right now, but the respawn timers are so short. If the level 10 could be got for GermanPanzer, they would be so able to come back into this, but they don't have it. There's nothing they can do.
No, because there's just...
For the All Hallows Cup, indeed, Coco, she can't handle the Maya damage and the Mile Fury damage as well. She manages to get away to the fountain, but her core does not survive. GG, well played to Leftovers. Right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and sorry about the delay there. We've just been ironing out a few technical issues with the giveaway, in fact. Joy K, what is the actual status of the giveaway? I think there's been some issue with the bot that understands the commands.
Yes, there has been an issue with the Stream Elements bot that is not understanding the commands. And there's gonna come a link into the chat.
Right, so you so I as I understand it now, sadly the entering via the chat doesn't work, and we will post a link. There is still going to be a giveaway, and it's going to be now, and viewers will go and click on the link, and then you just press a button to say enter, and it enters you. Is that correct?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, that's bad news in the sense of everyone who's typed will have to now do something again. So your previous ticket entry doesn't work. You're gonna have to click the link that has been posted in chat now. Has it or?
Not yet.
It's coming in the chat soon. From I believe Ari Druid, who's a moderator. Oh. Someone just said they can't hear you, but I mean, I think they can hear you. Just. Oh, they can hear you. You just weren't loud enough. Okay.
Hear Joy. Oh no.
Well, okay. Joy is well and truly here.
Joy is definitely here. The tiny person that makes the most noise of them all. I am here.
Whilst we just wait for that link to be posted, I'll just show up the schedule for the matches. So we've just shown Leftovers versus GermanPanzer, which was a 2-0. And over on the other channel, twitch.tv/Halloween Heroes, Team Sweden versus Main Tank on Flank was also a 2-0 in favour of Main Tank on Flank. So the hot pros really showing out in force so far this evening. But coming up, we've got on this channel Skogsapor versus 2B's Determined. Now that's going to be very exciting, isn't it? Like, Skogsapor seeded #1 by having won the previous All Hallows Cup. So, you know, they're expected to be a very strong team, but 2B's Determined also looking like a pretty sizable force as well.
Yeah. They have a lot of people, well-known people, also competing with Blade as their captain, also quite a well-known player. The link has just been posted in the chat, folks. You can click that and click on buy tickets, and that will enter you into our contest of buying a ticket.
Yes, and when we say buy ticket, there's no money or anything. It's just
no money,
you just get a ticket. You just get one ticket.
Be sure that you are logged in with your Twitch account though, so that the winner can be drawn.
Yes, absolutely. And does Ari Druid know when we're going to draw that? Because I assume it's going to be pretty soon, and because we're almost getting ready for our next series, aren't we? So.
Yes, we are. We are already seeing some map bans coming through here.
Okay, so what are the map bans that have been taking place? Okay, are you alive?
Sorry.
Sorry, what are the map bans that have been taking place?
I completely phased out. There's going on a lot of banter is going on here in this match lobby, and nothing has yet decided.
Oh, I see. There's just chit chat.
It's just chit chat, and it's a lot of it. The first map that has been banned out is Sky Temple.
Okay, so Sky, and who's that banned by? Skogsapor?
That has been banned out by Skogsapor.
Okay. So that's going to be something interesting, isn't it? I mean, Sky Temple is, a very macro-focused map, so I wonder if Skog are looking to play more around team fight. Maybe they just don't like Sky Temple. That could just be a factor.
Mhm.
Um, but the it could be that they don't want to go for that macro style.
Yep, and our second ban has also come through. 2B's determined are banning Abraxas Holdout. So we're now seeing that map come back tonight.
Okay, so that's I mean, I think those are both maps which can incite like feelings about people sometimes don't like them, but I guess they could be more that kind of I don't like the maps, so that's why we're not playing on it, or it could be you know that they're trying to go for a certain style. Now I note that both like Infernal Shrines of Sky Foundry, the normal maps as they're sometimes called, are both are all there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see something like an Infernal Shrine's first pick. Just a reminder again for viewers, if you want to enter um, the giveaway, you click the link that was put in there by Ari Druid. How long do they have left to click it?
It's still open. I just posted it again in the chat for all of you people.
Cool. And how long? I mean, do we know what time we're closing it? We should probably announce that. Or Ari Druid should, but I think Ari Druid will say in the chat when what the closing time is. But you've still got at least a couple of minutes left.
Yes. Let's just say as lobby opens that we close the giveaway.
I think I know why people are saying you're quiet. It's because I'm loud. That's not like a sort of philosophical claim. It's just that I've got louder since the break by accident. But I think you should be similar to me now. Anyway, keep giving us feedback about the audio. We will adjust if there's any issues. But has there been a map pick? Is that what you were saying?
Yes, there has been a map pick.
And we're going to Cursed Hollow.
We're going to Cursed Hollow.
I'm on my way. Yes, we are going. We're going to the Ravenlord's territory himself, Cursed Hollow, as it's known in the US. So that is a macro map. Now, interestingly, they banned the Sky Temple, which, like I was saying, is what I would call a macro map, and it's going to be Cursed Hollow, which is also macro. What does that tell you about the way these teams are going to approach this?
The thing is, it depends on your own opinion, it seems, about this map. Because whenever I draft this map and I ask my fellow players to draft some wave clear, they're like, nah, it's Cursed Hollow, we don't need wave clear. We just take the curse. And then we don't need wave clear.
That's an interesting point of view.
It's a very interesting point of view, right?
I
was a bit like, oh, when I saw that one, I was like, okay.
I'll be honest, I've not come across that myself. But yeah, that's going to be.
Yeah, I think we'll see a high priority on either banning Abathur or getting it on this map. Really, really powerful here.
Yeah, Abathur really strong. And it does give them the it gives whoever takes Abathur the ability to kind of if you get the curse, you can soak in every lane without having a single hero there, because Abathur can hat soak more or less 3 lanes, or at least 2 lanes of the curse at a time, just by doing the little pew on the hat. And so, for example, it's quite easy to get a strong push in one lane while an Abathur soaks everything on the map during a curse. But, of course, in order to do that, you have to win the curse first, which can be, of course, difficult with an Abathur early game.
Bit early. Everyone seems to be ready to go here.
There's a lot of people saying hi in Swedish/Danish in the lobby chat. um,
Yep. Hey, hey, hey. A lot of people, like, of course, okay, I'll be set closing the giveaway in 1
well,
minute. So
some
1 minute left to enter this giveaway. So far, we have seen 15 tickets being purchased. That is amazing. Going to drop you guys the link one more time in the chat.
it's funny. Somebody pointed out on Reddit that the All Hallows Cup has 17 out of 40 players are Swedish.
Yeah, that is actually true. All of the Dignatic team is also purely Swedish. Had Zelia competed, he would be the only non-Swedish player in that team.
So a lot of, I mean, Sweden does have a strong history of esports, so I think we're going to finish the giveaway now. So don't enter anymore. We're going to finish the giveaway, and we're going to go into the draft in game number 1 in our second best of 3 series for tonight, which is a Skogsapor versus 2B's Determined. I will just say that differently. It's 2B's Determined versus Skogsapor. 2B's Determined will be on the left when we get into the draft. So you were saying an Abatha might be prioritized with a ban or an early pick.
Yeah, I think so.
What else is a strong showing on Cursed Hollow? To Hacker maybe? Something like globals like that. We don't see Brewing so much at top level.
Falstad though.
Falstad can be a real
lately.
with a potential boss control ultimate as well.
Yes, absolutely. I've also seen Hanzo a lot. Of course, really long ass poke, a lot of interrupts. Yeah. I think Hanzo could also be a priority.
Is that for the boss or is it for the poke, as you say?
For the poke, I think, because the Sonic Arrow, of course, is a beautiful way of interrupting the channel. Giveaway has been closed.
Dum, dum, dum. And does that mean the winner's been announced? Also, hi to Valis, who's just joined in the chat.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go into the draft, and we'll have a look at how all that goes.
Wait, I can't.
No, we're not going into the draft just yet. We're just going to wait for some things to sort out. I think it might be the giveaway. We're just still sorting out. So we talk about the hands of the Abatha.
What do you think is really strong on this map then?
I mean, I do agree about Abatha and Dehaka as talked about. Hanzo, yes, still, and boss prioritization is still a thing. Hanzo is not as strong at clearing bosses as the olden days, for sure.
No.
But there are, along with a range of other heroes, he can do a decent show on boss. I think we don't see so many ideas like Illidan these days, you know, Illidan with the Abatha.
Yeah.
That was old school, right? You would often have an Illidan there. He has the global, he has the
Alright, I've just been announced the winner of our giveaway, Mila Z. I think that's just Mila, right?
It is
Mila,
just
where
Mila.
are you? Mila, where are you? You won. Congratulations. You have won our €10 balance code, and just as I said that, we are going into the draft of our first game, best out of 3, between 2B's Determined and Skogsapor.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I think that this is gonna be a really interesting series. Like, before we see the draft, who's your money on for the? By the way, the Abatha ban straight away. who's your money on? Not actual money, of course. We're not actually gambling here. But who would your money be on for the whole series?
Trying to bait me into being a biased caster here.
I'm literally trying. I'm trying to bait you into a prediction. I think we all predicted. I predicted the leftovers would win.
I'm gonna have to go with Skogsapor.
I think I am as well, and I think that that's not to downplay, by the way. To be determined to look really.
Yes, yeah, that's not to downgrade to be determined. But I think Skogsapor really wants to defend their title here. They've got some really strong players on their side. We know what they can do. And I have literally planned out all the bans here.
Yeah, this is literally what we've been saying, and the only thing we didn't say is this is all we talked about is that of the hacker Hanzo, and then they've immediately been banned. With the downside is that means we don't have anything to say for the picks now that those things are gone. No, look, Diablo, by the way, this is a really strong map. I would like to see a Diablo early here.
Maiev is open. Genji is open. Like, there's so many powerful picks still open. All S-tier sports is still open. And the first pick is going to be Anubarak.
I think that's very reasonable. Anubarak's one of the strongest tanks around at the moment. And he has a great response to so many of the other tanks that are popular. So I'm reasonably pleased with that. I do know that ETC is the best hero in the game, so I wonder if we might see an ETC stage dive coming out. The problem with taking stage dive is, of course, then you can't take the best talent in the game, which is Torbus.
Torbus, yeah. You cannot take that beautiful talent. Alright, do we see the Maiev and the Ana being picked up?
Maiev, just so strong in the right hands. That's gonna be pretty scary. So I might expect another front line. The difficulty is you take another front line to deal with the Maiev, and what happens is you're just providing more focus points for her to shop. But there it is, the Diablo as well. Look at the strength of front line there for 2B's determined. Yes,
and with it surrounded to follow that up, I would not want to be Maiev now.
Yeah, but on the other hand, having more people at the front line, like I was saying, it sort of swings around us because it means she's got more people to reset her fan of knives off. So it might not be so one-sided. On the other hand, I mean, there's so much CC there for Maiev. I think she's got to be a little bit concerned if she goes in too aggressively, that she could just get slammed into a wall, stunned with an impale, flipped over, a burrow strike as well, and that's it. Vikings banned.
Viking banned out here. Right, yeah, you know it would be good with the Maiev then, to prevent her from taking all that extra damage and being locked out.
A Medivh?
Yes! I would love to see a Medivh.
I would love to see a Medivh as well. Now, you know some of the players in Skog pretty well, like, okay, whoa, okay.
Oh, that was not what I expected. Garrosh and Sergeant Hammer being picked up here. Sergeant Hammer, of course, amazing point control. It's so hard to get to and to play into, but with this engaging, heavy, sturdy front line, I think 2B's determined do stand a good chance of doing that actually. With Anubarak and Diablo already laid out before them.
Yeah.
Jaina and Mephisto double mage.
So.
And Tyrael as the last pick. 21 seconds left, so that was Mr. Max Passion locking that in with a lot of confidence there.
Now that's actually, so the Tyrael pick is very interesting. Normally you take a Tyrael for the sanctification to say, I'm responding to your hard engage combos. I guess their thought was, we might see Juan come in with a big Apocalypse combo and a Ring of Frost or something like that, and if you can press Sanctification to stop that happening, you've just wasted 2 heroics, and now you're sitting in a protected bubble ready to engage, and just protecting Hammer from that stuff. But on the other hand, I think it does make it kind of harder for them to engage. I guess with a Hammer they're not trying to engage too hard, but then that doesn't, to me, that doesn't gel so well with the Maiev idea. But then what do I know? I mean, but what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, well, I just said in the draft, it's hard to play into a Hammer because it's just hard to get to. But with 2 really engagey tanks, I think that you might just be able to do it. So it's either going to swing, like it's going to swing one way or another. I don't know yet, but let's see, because we are actually here now.
Yes, we are, and on the left we have 2B's determined with Juan on Diablo, Korlik on Anubarak, Mr. Tycho playing Gina. We have Hanzuka on Tyrande, and Blade finishing it off with Mephisto.
And on the right hand side for you, we have Skogsapor defending their champions title. We've got Max Payne, aka Max Passion on the Tyrael. We've got Skog on the Maiev, Knuti, which Halloween and Jabroni absolutely can't pronounce, but I can because I'm Dutch. On the Sergeant Hammer, we've got Wit on Garrosh, and to round that off, we've got Galna Gunnar sticking it to Diana, as he did last tournament.
Yeah, let's have a look at the top lane where there's all kinds of shenanigans going on.
There are pings, Knuti setting up, doing some decent damage here to the first tower.
Tyrael's going to soak the bot lane, and I guess, yeah, that's Maiev soaking the mid, and then that combination of Garrosh, Anna, and Hammer are just going to push that top lane, and this has to be a really hard engage here for to be determined, and they come, but Garrosh immediately throws them away and prevents any danger for Hammer at all.
Yeah, there's something that Garrosh is really good at doing, and it is denying engages here. And I think that's the whole point of having the Garrosh at this point. You've got Tyrael that can dance around the enemy team a bit. You've got Garrosh that can deny the engage upon Knuti on the hammer. And you can tell right here, right here you can see that 2B's determined is not so determined on engaging here, because it's just really hard to do into a hammer.
I think what we might see for the first tribute is Skogsapor taking their siege camp and just going bottom lane with it and ignoring the tribute altogether. The alternative is they take their siege camp and then they try to poke the objective for days with Knuti's hammer, but I think they might get more value with the siege. By the way, we should say that they only got one tower after all of that shenanigans, so it's not the end of the world, but it is a minor XP lead, and of course they're starting to get those camps rolling as well. It could provide a lot of macro pressure against 2B's determined, and I think it's quite easy if you're a 2B's determined and maybe you're feeling like the underdog. It's quite easy to crack under that kind of pressure and sort of panic, being like, well, how do we deal with this hammer? But they just have to be, maintain their calm and composure. Here's a throw onto Jaina though, and she's been tethered in as well. Mr. Tycho's surely going to go down here.
Is Saloon stealing enough? It's not, and that is first blood here for Skogsapor. Really nice pick off by them. Nice throw by Wit.
Yeah. And another
tether, 2 tethers that pulls Hanzuka straight into the enemy team, and that is another kill for Skogsapor. They are really executing here.
Yeah, this is really strong execution there from them. They pulled the first time they threw the Garrosh through into the Maiev tether, and the second time Maiev tethers into the Garrosh through the gate. I mean, it's you've got to at some point, if your 2B's determined, you start thinking, well, what could I possibly have done there? I was behind the gate, and I still got punished. Garrosh pressing the Indomitable at the perfect time to avoid getting turned over by Juan on Diablo.
By Juan on tank on Diablo.
Juan on tank on Diablo. But it might be more like Juan on Bruiser on Diablo with a new breath on tank.
Maybe for this game, but he's definitely Juan on the wallbanger. Because he is absolutely playing Diablo here. Alright, we're seeing that 2B's determined have some zoning potential of their own here. But they have given up a level and a talent tier for that. With really pushing forward here, but taking a bit of damage from the tower.
Now Skog have their siege camp rolling bottom lane. I thought they might have done that before the previous tribute, but they've decided to go for it afterwards. By the way, they're putting pressure on even a Nubrak. Okay, he's not going to die, but if they could put enough pressure on him, then he won't be here to wave clear. So they brought the Jaina down in the form of Mr. Tycho to start getting that Blizzard on those siege giants and clearing them up before they can do some serious damage to those towers.
Yeah, Beatles of course doing an excellent job with that as well. Putting the focus of the giants not on the heroes, but on the Beatles.
Absolutely. Here, we do see 2B's determined picking up their bruiser camp as well. That's going to provide a little bit of mid lane pressure.
That's a bit late. Oh, Max Passion running straight in there, dropping his sword.
He chooses not to go in eventually, but look at how a zone Korlik's Anubrak is he's in no man's land. He's got to be careful here. I think he doesn't have tap available because he used it in that previous fight bottom lane when I was talking about the harassment on him. And Garrosh is just saying
and
no.
there you see, with using the throw to get Quan out of the way, to not interrupt the channel, and even though this was on the side of 2B's determined, Skogsapor got this tribute. Knutty in the meantime on the hammers, really pushing in on that top lane.
Yep, starting to demolish the second tower there, and it's just going to provide pressure for crucially, if Skog ever take the boss on their side, that's just going to go directly onto the fort with no towers in the way, and probably get the fort for that. So that means that it's just getting more value out of their boss going forwards.
Oh,
that's a potential gank onto hammer though. They're looking for it now.
That's a flip into the blizzard. Galnagunner is there on the Anna, but it's not enough. Knutty still falls. Hansuka gets thrown in, but the grenade is not available anymore. Tether is able to finish off the job, so they managed to trade here. Level 10 is looking closer for Skogsapor than it is for 2B's determined.
Yeah, this is, I mean, a decent trade given the circumstances, because that looked like a sort of straight up gank onto hammer, and Skog managed to turn it into a 1-for-1. So reasonable play from them, although it was absolutely the right call originally to get the pick onto hammer, who was providing so much pressure. Now, though, look at what Skogsapor are doing. They're going straight for this boss, which we know is going to go directly onto the fort. But Blade has sniffed it out on the Mephisto. He's coming in, sensibly using his shade to go in, and that means, having sniffed that out, it means the Skogsapor are going to give that up and not risk taking a fight under the boss.
No, which is of course a good call here. We are seeing all the ultimates being picked up. Some really nice wombo combo potential here with Durance of Hate and Ring of Frost. I wonder how that's going to work out. We see Blunt Force Gun for Hammer. I wonder what they're going to do with that.
It is more burst, and it is potentially global poke on like.
And Carrots, let's not most of all forget, it's a really big and huge gun.
It's an absolutely huge gun. It's
Oh, here's the throw onto Quan, gets the wall stun, gets the lightning breath. Wit looking awfully low here and falls.
Yep, and now
available because Max was in the cocoon. Here's the Sanct. But Skog is still looking so low. He's still on the chase though. Looking for Mr. Tico. Galnagunner having to run all the way around here, trying to heal his teammates up. Blade using Shade of Mephisto to get away. The channel is going through by Hansuka. That means that 2B is determined also managed to capture their tribute.
That was a lovely cocoon from Korlik has set everything up there. If Tyrael isn't cocooned, then that's a sanctification. And it's a fight the other way. So the fact that the Anubrak sniffs out that that's the plan, presses the cocoon on Tyrael, bang! That's immediately the ability of that Ring of Frost and Lightning Breath to deliver massive value. It's a great play from Korlik on Anubrak there. And it's brought 2B's determined.
Welcome Bevelli in the chat, who is absolutely wild, of course. A lot of these teams being not 2B's determined, but of course Skogsapor.
Oh, the sleep onto Anubrak, Garrosh.
There's a throw by Wit, the Warlord's challenge, and a grenade on top of that. But Korlik is still on.
It seems like the Anubrak got absolutely crushed there, and I don't know. I think they used a lot of resources to lock him down, but the fact that Anubrak's completely dead means they will just be able to get this tribute pretty safely, and it will be a curse. Perfectly timed gank there. I mean, I assume, yeah, it looks like 2B's determined no, this is just going to be a curse, and they're choosing to get their camps to take the bite out of the curse a little bit. Are Skog lining up to go for this boss though?
Yeah, they are, but then again, 2B's determined are practically level 13, and that's a talent tier ahead here. So, is it a good call to go for this boss?
They've chosen.
Sanctification is up though, all of their ults are up.
I think they need the holy ground to be able to control the boss better, and so they're waiting for the 13 maybe. Oh, Anna in a cocoon. And that's meant that Maev's been
And
absolutely
only
shut
Wit's
down.
here to break it out. There is the Ring of Frost. What? What an out of the fray by Wit here! Which Grant's unstoppable, of course, and cannot root you. He absolutely saved Anna there.
Well played, Wit on the Garrosh. I think Anna was having a bit of a brown trouser moment there. Was very, very nervous because there was about to be a Ring of Frost dropped on her head. And Wit said no, as you say, out of the fray and to safety. Great, great peeling play from Wit on the tank.
From Wit on Garrosh. Alright, 2Bs determined, immediately going for their boss as this curse is ending. Their top camp got a lot of value there.
Yeah, no, it's funny that we talked about this hammer value being to push and get forts, but really, of course, Skog have only got one fort so far, and that's during the curse. And apart from that, it's roughly structurally equal. And both teams are going to trade bosses now. I assume. I think.
Max, you're looking a bit huddled in there, mate. Juan is ahead of you, Korlik is behind, but you're Ethereal and you've got, you know, movement and everything.
So he's gone for the old switcheroo at level 13 instead of the Holy Ground.
Oh.
Which means less boss control, but it does mean Tyrael can do some dukes. But Garrosh, been absolutely melted, tried to run at Jaina and Mephisto, and just got told, no, you're going to take some serious damage here, my lad. Blade, got to be careful there. Is in the towers, but fine for now. And this probably, the death of Garrosh.
Cocoon.
Oh.
Anna! Cocooned! Ball stun!
Yeah, there's no Garrosh to save her this time. But we have got a little pause for a technical issue on the side of one of the players. So we'll go back to looking at our beautiful faces.
Oh.
So far, like I was saying, so Hammer has this idea, or rather Skogsapor have this idea that with the Hammer, they'll push the forts, they'll get the macro advantage. And it hasn't seemed to quite work yet, except when they got the curse. And they only really got the curse because they got some, they got a nice pick onto a noob brack. So, I'm not sure that the Hammer strat is working exactly as they want. We'll see how it goes, of course, as we go back into this game number 1 in the best of 3 series.
Yes.
Which we are nearly ready to. Yes, we are ready to go.
Now.
But yeah, but the bosses. The difference is the trading bosses is good, of course, for Skogsapor because it is going direct on the keep. But Hammer's been charged and flipped over, and Jaina's finished the job. That's going to be the end of Hammer for now.
Really nice play here by Juan, taking that opportunity to immediately get that flip, get the kill onto Hammer. They are, in the meantime, level 16, level 14 for Skogsapor. And with the tribute almost spawning, it's like I know this map inside out. With the tribute spawning right now, that's going to be really hard for Skogsapor to defend, because they, of course, are not only a talent tier down, with the current comp that they're running, they need time to set up.
Yeah, and Hammer's not going to be there in time to do any of that. I think this is a curse. I don't see that Skog can do anything about it. I think they're not doing anything about it. I think they're going to try to just get their camps, which is exactly, by the way, what we saw 2B's Determined do a minute ago. But it is the curse
it seems
going
that
over.
Both of their tanks are looking to go for this camp as well.
So, what can 2B's Determined achieve with this curse? They do have the siege camp rolling at the top, yeah, so that's going to pause. Oh, the charge immediately onto Hammer. The Unstoppable is there, and the Into the Fray to get her out, and that's meant that the Lightning Breath's been wasted. The Unibrak comes in, looking for Skog on the Maev, who manages to throw himself out. And for now, every member of Skogsapor is still alive, even though heroics were committed by 2B's Determined. But the fight goes on. This isn't a real fort. Skogsapor have to be careful. They're still not 16.
Nope, they're still not 16, and the big wombo combo in the name of Ring of Frost Endurance is still available.
And don't forget that siege camp is rolling at the top lane all the while. So if they just
yes.
stall for too long. Oh, but oh, Juan on tank, my lad, stopping Garrosh from reaching Mr. Tycho on Jaina. But the Maiev Warden's cage is there. The damage is coming out. Tyrael's in the cocoon, so he can't sank again. And Maiev shut down completely. This idea of cocooning the Tyrael is absolutely shutting him down. Wit on Garrosh has to be careful to get out of here. The healing from Anna is big. Turned over. Oh, the sank there!
Beautiful big sanked. Beautiful big sanked here by Max Passion, aka Max Payne, on the Tyrael. Woo! Really well played.
They did lose 2 towers at the top.
Yep.
Which
Siege
is some...
camp is still there.
Yeah, and I think that's not the end of the world though. But they also, you know, lost a Maiev in the process. And I think the issue they're having is in these team fights, the cocoon on Tyrael just means there's no sank, and that's leaving Diablo and Jaina to some extent free to go in hard with the help of Jones as well to set up the wombo combo.
Yeah. Somehow the bottom fort still lives though.
Yeah, which means actually...
Not for long, but it still lives.
It means it was structurally even until that point. Both teams on roughly identical structures. Maybe 1 tower or 2 there. Oh, Mephisto, you're pretty deep.
Looking awfully low here. Ring of Frost coming out, but doesn't connect because Tyrael is in the cocoon. Blade falls though, and Max Passion is now out of the cocoon. A big, beautiful butterfly with his, look at his majestic wings on the chase.
Yeah, and he's looking
Passion,
huge Warden's cage.
With a huge Warden's cave. Quad is looking low. The throw is there. Hansuk is looking low. They both fall. Beautifully executed here by Skogsapor. Next tribute is up. This means that is their tribute. Boss is spawning at a perfect time, and that means that is going over to the monkey here.
Yeah, I mean...
Skogsapor, by the way, boys, because Skogsapor means forest monkeys in Swedish.
That's good Swedish
So
knowledge there.
just to point out, I'm not insulting anyone here. I'm not a toxic caster.
Or at least not at the moment.
Not at the moment.
No, a great play there from Skog on Maiev. I mean, it was a great play from all of them. They knew that they got the advantage, and they chased and they chased, and they got what they needed. And it's going to be the boss. It's going to be another boss probably in that top lane. It's going to be a tribute, and it might even be pressure on the mid fort as well. So much value being generated by that one fight.
Oh, the sleep! Gunner landing the sleep here on Juan. Wit is on the flank. Warlord's challenge is huge. There comes the Blood Force gun. It hits all 3 of them. Max Payne body blocking here. But, oh my god, throws Knuti in on the hammer. They're still chasing. Juan is in the back, charging. Here's the cocoon. Korlik, can he get away? Can he get away? Max Payne still chasing him. Skog, in the meantime, rotated up. Korlik is looking so low. And Juan is still, in the meantime, in the bottom lane. Korlik is absolutely dead.
Juan versus Gunner. This has been Anna versus...
Gunner is just chasing him on Hannah.
This has been going on a while, but eventually it's going to be all she wrote. With a lightning breath! No.
But that was a big no. That's level 20 for Skogsapor. That's a boss call here for Skogsapor, and that should be a tribute as well for Skogsapor.
It's not the end of the game,
I'm
though.
kind of looking at top keep.
It will be top keep. Oh, and those siege giants are going to warm it up as well. However, 2B's Determined will respawn in time to defend the boss when it gets to the keep. It won't be a curse or anything, and they will get level 20. So I think it's not game, but it's probably the top keep going to go. And they just have to play a little bit carefully around it. But, of course, that will be then them 2 keeps down. And they're going to feel really under the cosh.
Yeah, that's some real pressure. And definitely on a map like this.
Blade trying to clear those siege giants has succeeded for now. But this is where the game could potentially end for 2B's Determined if they get caught out. So far, Juan has done an absolutely amazing job of shutting down Garrosh's attempts to engage. And Jaina, with the combination of Jaina as well, providing slows and damage. And Rek getting thrown in.
Here comes the throw onto an Uberak, the sleep, the minus healing grenade.
The Hellgate there with the back!
The backline though! Gunner so low! Falls! Garrosh falls! Knuti on hammer! This is not what Skogsapor wanted. They got the keep though. Max Payne still in the enemy team on the Tyrael. Eldruin's teleport expires. He is able to mount up and he is still at their core. So what's he gonna do? He's just gonna use that massive attack speed to attack the core.
He's doing some significant amounts of work, actually.
Yeah, he got the core to 75%. Gets the teleport.
He's doing significant. No way, Max Payne.
No way, Max. No way. 72, 70, 69. He's doing some percentage here.
This is where that old switcheroo talent level 13 is providing. Look at him. He's just juking Corlick.
He's playing with Corlick in the meantime. And there we go again. Massive attacks.
He is eventually surely going to die. Blade is here as well.
Yes, of course. But he's just doing what he can. Look, he's running out of health and he's running out of mana, so he's absolutely dead here.
Dodges the owl!
The owl! The beautiful wings. Are they enough? The hit point?
Cocoon? What? He was about to die! I think he might be dead. I'm not 100% sure.
No, I'm not sure. Yeah, he's dead.
I think he might be dead.
Yeah, he might be dead. But he got almost 40% of the core there.
Max Payne with absolute poggers plays. Or some would call it Skoggers plays.
Skoggers plays.
Skogchamp. But they...
Skogchamp.
But they... Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was great stuff from Max Passion, aka Max Payne there. Did manage to take another 10% off the core as well. But he's dead for another 30 seconds, and that does mean that the next tribute will almost certainly go over to Be's Determined.
Yeah. And that means we're going to see a massive fight over the next one, because that makes the teams 2-2. So that next tribute is deciding. We're seeing Skogsapor move to the top side of the map here, taking the top siege camp of 2B's Determined. They
have to be a bit careful though, because Mr. Tycho is maybe sniffing this out, not there in time to contest it.
But what can he do when the tanks are not in position to engage here? You don't want to engage as a Jaina or a Tyrande.
The bottom boss just respawned, by the way. So that's going to be a potential area of contesting for the teams. Like.
Oh yes, and look where the tribute is spawning right now.
I think whoever wins this fight wins the game because they get a curse on the boss. And to be fair, if Skogsapor win this fight, then they don't need the curse or the boss. They just end the game. Oh, Garrosh has to use his Indomitable here. The lightning breath coming out, trying to finish the job onto Whip, but he does manage to get away. He's on to 130 HP.
So
the Ring of Frost doesn't. Is Maya in the cocoon? Where's the sanctification? It is available. No, it isn't. It's already been used. There's a massive pulling in from Maiev, who's going chop, chop, chop. Absolute work being done here by Maiev. Skog trying to flank round. He does have the nano boost. Nano boost fading now, but look how low Juan on Diablo is. But Blade on the Mephisto getting picked off on the other side. Maiev now so isolated.
Oh,
it's 2 for 1.
Got flipped in very well. A very nice counter engage here by Juan, who's now absolutely bodied by Wit and Max Passion, trying to flip around. But Tyrael's movement is just too much. He just keeps dancing around, and now he gets thrown in. Oh, dodges the stun. The core of 2B's Determined has 3 catapults.
But Max Payne is still looking for Corlick. There's nothing much. Here comes Juan to try and save the day, but it's too late. Anubrak's already dead, trying to stop them from capturing the curse. But Diablo, you've got no souls. Where's your survivability going to come from? Turns, flips the Garrosh. But here's his teammates. Tyron's there with the healing. Mr. Tycho with the damage. Wit, Gal, the gun, and Max Payne have to start thinking about backing away. But they're trying to stall because there are still catapults chipping away that blue core.
There is. Wit's getting immensely slowed here. Juan doesn't land the angle here. The nano boost onto Max Passion. With the attack speed, he's doing so much damage. He's absolutely shredding the Tyrande. And now he goes up.
The BFG!
On top of the big force gun not connect. Connects by a hair. Oh, what a clutch ass block! He almost lived there. Juan, in the middle of everyone, is still trying to stall with his life. But he falls as well, and because they did not take care of their core, it's now at 1%. It's actually over.
Well,
oh my god.
Yes, it's over, but what a finish and what a game. That
Oh,
last fight was basically 2 minutes of both teams hanging on by the skin of their teeth for the game. Game number 1, by the way, in a
woo!
best of 3. I think we're in for a real
Wow.
treat of a series here.
I think we are. I think we are. Wow.
I mean, definitely clip some of that, viewers at home, if you didn't already. We will show the highlights later on, but I mean, normally we showed like 10-second clips of fights. That I mean, I'm almost tempted to play it already, but I think the thing is, that fight went on for so long, and it was back and forth. Like, it was 2-for-1 in favor of one team, and then it kind of flipped, and then it just outstanding play all around. Max Payne on the Tyrael, aka Max Passion, just dancing around. Like, that's, you know, we talked about why didn't he take Holy Ground at level 13?
Yeah.
Well,
we saw why. The good old switcheroo got the job done.
yeah, throwing in the Eldruin, jumping to it, jumping back out, then running back in, using the movement speed of the smitey, hit, chopping down Jaina and Tyron for a long time.
Yeah.
But, you know, still a really close game, 16-13. Like, we talked, like, that hammer strat that they had, I have to say, 2B's Determined did a really good job of dealing with that. And it seemed for a long time like Skogsapor were ready onto the kosh. And it's only like a sort of gradually chipping down the base. At the end, I think maybe the core pressure is what lost the fight for 2B's Determined, because they were they were kind of distracted by that, and they had to deal with those catapults, and they couldn't do that and fight at the same time. Very difficult for that situation for them, but still very close game. Could have gone either way depending on that last fight. So we're in for a real treat of a series. So,
yes. So,
what do we know about game number 2?
We know about game number 2 that 2B's Determined again wanted the first pick, and that means that Skogsapor get to choose another map. Just as a reminder, maps that aren't available are Sky Temple and Praxis Holdout, because they have been banned out.
Yes, and also there's a whole bunch of maps that are unavailable because they were not in the map pool, like Warhead Junction, Blackheart's Bay, Garden of Terror. What might be called the usual suspects, but
the usual suspect.
So, yeah. So, I don't know that 2B's Determined have to do anything particularly different there. I think they've shown themselves to be pretty strong in that game, and they shouldn't be ashamed of that result by any stretch.
No.
So it's just a matter of what are they going to do in game number 2 slightly differently. I think in macro sense they maybe got slightly out pressured, but that's more or less it. The 3 extra kills.
That's also kind of how the map works. So
yeah. That is very much in the nature of Cursed Hollow, so it's that's to be expected. So we might see something different. Maybe because Battlefield is not really macro focused. It's going to be about drafting for a race on the Immortal, and it's going to be about fighting in the middle of the map. You're not going to see, well, you don't normally see so much macro kind of play on this map. But we'll see. Yeah. We'll see, of course, how that goes.
We'll see. Battlefield of Eternity is our next map. Yeah. I think we're gonna see a high priority ban coming out here on Diablo and on Garrosh.
Yeah, what I liked about the drafting style of 2B's Determined last game is that they really prioritized both of those tanks early on, Anubrak and Diablo.
Yeah.
Yes, the Garrosh was impactful, but it wasn't like the Anubrak and Diablo were just causing massive damage. By the way, the cocoon on Tyrael again and again. Is
Yeah.
it the last fight is
So
the
good.
only one, and it's because Max Payne pressed Sanctification very early in the final fight, if you can even call that the final fight, because it went on for a long time. But yeah, I think the cocoon play from To Be Determined, absolutely solid.
Righty right.
So, yes, we're still just we're still. Well, I think we're basically ready to go into the draft in game.
We're ready. We're grand. We
number
can go.
2. I'm just gonna show up on screen.
The thing is that 2 of the players have been still switched around. As Korlik is on the wrong side and Max Passion is saying, "Please give us our wit."
That is that's minor. Yeah. Well, Korlik was the Nubrak who was very impactful last game, so I wouldn't blame Skog if they wanted it, but apparently they want their wit back. They want their wit back.
They want their wit back.
Let's take a look at the scores so far today that we've seen. We've got we saw Leftovers versus GermanPanzer earlier on. That was a bit more decisive, let's say, than the series we're currently watching. That was 2-0 to Leftovers. What looked fairly comfortable for the former pro team. And then we, on the other channel, twitch.tv/Halloween Heroes, Main Tank on Flank beat Team Sweden 2-0 in a similar episode. And we've just seen game number 1 in Skogsapor versus To Be Determined. Skogsapor taking the lead so far, but very close, game number 1, and anything could go. We're going into the draft in game number 2.
Yep, there we are. Battlefield of Eternity. Second match in this best set of.
Yeah, so well, Diablo and Garrosh, you were saying, might get targeted for bans a lot. Diablo especially.
Perhaps Tyrande.
Yeah, but she does have that Hunter's Mark, which helps with the Immortal, as well as being a good all-round support and having the stuns. I think the Diablo might be the first thing to... Oh, the Maiev, of course, yeah.
Maiev, of course.
The Nano with Maiev, by the way, we didn't talk it about enough last game, but the Nano boosted Maiev who went chop, 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 chop. And that was so impactful in the final fight. So, is this where they're going to ban Diablo? Or I guess maybe To Be's Determined are thinking that they're going to try to get the Diablo, and they might go for a tank ban themselves.
Ban it to Genji.
To me, that's interesting. I don't know so much about Genji. Oh,
okay,
both tanks being left open.
Because both tanks are actually still open.
So, I'm guessing there's going to be a Diablo pick here, and then a Garrosh pick in response by Skog, or maybe you might see. The thing is, if they pick Diablo, they sort of got to pick Garrosh in response. Muradin, by the way, I'm going to say something controversial. Muradin very good for the Immortal race. Skipping the Diablo on a map that I would say Diablo is very strong on because of the geometry of it. And going instead to Garrosh.
That is true, but it's only a 2-lane map, and there's a lot of fighting onto the under the levels. And that means that Diablo does not have a lot of access to souls if he loses them.
You're absolutely right, and it does compel him then to kind of get the W talent at level 4 for souls. Anna Li Ming, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that Ming. That's going to be some significant Immortal race coming out there. I mean,
if we see Seeker being picked up,
she doesn't. I mean, she doesn't have to go Seeker, but yes, it can be.
Seeker, but if you want to build purely into Immortal race, I mean, I think this Ming is absolutely going for Calamity.
I think when you've got an Anna, you sort of want to go Calamity and go boom boom. Material could be.
It seems that To Be Determined likes the comp of Skogsapor.
Yeah, they're like, can we have your comp, please? I don't know. I mean, so far it's just the Garrosh and Material, but
they were very impactful that game.
Yeah, and so we'll have to see how how they play. Shelvin saying expecting Juan to win Lamau. Um, some banter there from Shelvin towards Juan on tank on tank on tank. Anubrak ban, absolutely solid. I think Anubrak could have been a nice engage after somebody gets Garrosh thrown, so it's a good response to Garrosh. But it does leave Diablo open. I think their reckoning is that with Garrosh there and the Tyrael, they're not really that afraid of Diablo, because if he slams in on his own, he's going to get thrown further back and punished. ETC!
Oh, look who it is!
What a massive
it's
lad!
ETC, the massive lad!
ETC, by the way, is
Phoenix.
great at dealing with a Garrosh, because Garrosh runs
Yeah.
at you trying to engage. You just press W. That's it. That's it. At the end of Garrosh's ideas. He can struggle against some other comps.
Just shattered by a single W. Damn. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, it's tough to counter a whole hero with one button, but that's how ETC works, because he's a massive lad. And obviously we're going to see Crowd Surfer, because it's the best. It's the second best talent in the game.
Yeah. So what is the best talent in the game again?
The best talent in the game is, of course, Torbus, which is facilitated by Crowd Surfer.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Torbus is the best talent in the game. Always take Torbus.
Always take Torbus. But ETC, no, I do think is a great response to Garrosh Tyrael, and could just push them around a little bit and stop any nonsense. Also, if ETC gets thrown in at the right angle, he's got the threat of Mosh Pit, and it just means that Tyrande, Tyrael and Garrosh have to be a little bit on their toes about that. Mr. Tycho bringing out that Gina again that we saw was quite impactful in game number 1. ETC doesn't like to be on his own on the front line, that's why they brought the hacker, but it also offers them a little bit of the chance to soak while maybe defending the Immortal. Maybe try poking it as well with Li Ming.
Yeah, and ETC, of course, with his power side, with his face melt, has also quite a lot of potential of knocking someone or keeping someone in that Immortal stun. So, I like the idea of having an ETC defend his own Immortal at that point.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's something that we will see how they play it, of course. But it seems like that's likely to be the way they go for. Of course, we have to see how we go as we go into game number 2, and on the left we have 2Bs determined with Korlik on the Korlik on the Tyrael this time. We have we have Mr. Taiko on Gina, we have Hanzuko on Tyrande, we have Juan on Garrosh, and we have Blade on the Alarak.
Yes, and on the other side of the map we have the team in red. Maybe they might be able to secure this best out of 3 if they win this next match. Wit is playing ETC, Skog is playing Phoenix, Knuti is playing Li Ming, Ganagunner once again on the Ana, and in the top lane is Max Payne on the hack.
And immediately there's been a big trade of blows here at the bottom, and Juan took a fair amount of damage, but both teams topping themselves up pretty nicely. Remember that Gina will be looking to try to get that Ice Block quest stacked up, as well as the globes. She's not done any chill damage so far. ETC is a good target to poke on that. He can't. So we talked about ETC being the best hero in the game, according to me, but he can get punished quite easily if he gets locked down out of position. So you have to play a little bit conservatively as an ETC, I feel.
Yeah, he has to play a bit careful because, of course, Juan on Garrosh has got an amazing way of trying to poke you, of displacing you, and you know, if you don't have power slide available, then you're not really getting out of there, as has been demonstrated.
The funny thing is, he did actually have power slide available, but he was locked down 100-0. That's the danger. You've got that Tyrande stun. So he was Garrosh throw, Garrosh stun, Tyrande stun, Alarak silence. That's it. And that's all they needed to finish off ETC. And if he can't be pressing buttons, then he can't get survivability. Phoenix, my lad, you don't have your teleport available with the silence there as well. That's going to be the end of Phoenix. The four-legged cavalry has
very
fallen.
determined here to get those kills in early on in the game.
Yeah. The four-legged cavalry was assassinated, and to be determined, looking very strong here with this very bursty comp of Alarak, Gina, Tyrande. When they catch someone with Garrosh, that person is dead. D-E-D, dead. And there's nothing that Anna can do about that kind of firepower.
No.
But it's still everything to play for. Both teams are looking like they might be going towards camps, with Phoenix going.
Blade rotating up to the top lane here onto Max Payne, but Max can just waddle away on his Dahaka.
I think when we get to
really having to tap here.
Yeah, I think when we get to a later game, that Max Payne on Dahaka is going to be absolutely crucial, in the sense of going to the front line and tanking that Garrosh combo for his teammates, because Dahaka is probably the one member of Skogsapor who can survive that, because by burrowing, by using his essence, etc. And so the idea, I guess, will be for Dahaka to go in when they have those 5-man fights, draw out some of the burst onto himself, and so then Phoenix and ETC are less at risk, and they can be a bit more pressure.
Sounds like a solid game plan to me, Karis. So we are seeing our first immortal spawned here. Knuti on Li Ming doing a bit of poking here. Ooh, big escape here, big power slides, massive from Wit on the ETC, completely escaping that CSC chain again.
Yeah, that's good reactions, crucially from Wit's ETC. Just if he'd stayed a millisecond longer, there was going to be lockdown dropping onto his face, and it would have been unpleasant for him. But good reactions got him out of there, and let's see how he goes. He didn't go for the crowd server at level 4, by the way. He went for the more traditional face melt talent, which great stun onto Blade. Maybe they can fight more here. There's a big stun from Garrosh trying to lock down the Phoenix, who has no shield left. Has to be careful, but Blade also has to be careful. If ETC catches him, then there could be a Li Ming combo into his face. ETC being thrown in, has to slide out before the silence hits. Here's the Tyrande stun, but it won't do anything just now.
Nope. It seems that Skogsapor are once again moving up, trying to poke this Immortal, and they managed to get it down to the halftime. Juan looking absolutely low, and Max Payne lands the tongue, gets the kill.
Now I assume they're going to try and invade here. No, they're sending Wit to be a distraction on ETC, whilst 3 members do the race, and Dahaka goes to get soaked. So they're giving up, Skogsapor giving up that first Immortal, going to get most of the shield off. Oh no, sorry, Skogsapor have won the first Immortal.
Yeah.
Wow,
I was going to say, they are comfortably winning this first.
Wow, that was they were behind on stage 1, but they weren't they? I didn't imagine that they were behind on stage 1 after the first half. But oh, the lockdown onto Alarak. Maybe they can blow him up.
Power slide, the grenade, but it's not enough to finish off Blade, who just yeets out of there.
By the way, it is Seeker. It's full magic missile build, Li Ming. That's why they raced so fast there. Li Ming with a full magic missile build absolutely deletes the Immortal, and we do get to hear that satisfying noise every time she hits the combo.
Seeker has the most satisfying sound in the game, and it absolutely wrecks Garrosh as well.
Yeah, and if Garrosh isn't careful, he doesn't have his Indomitable, so if he gets caught in a power slide now, look at his health. Getting chipped away again and again by those magic missiles.
Yep, as I just said, absolutely wrecks Garrosh, but Skogsapor does not manage to take this first fort here. They are sticking around here, trying to take this camp. Wit has to move around, because as you just said, he did not take crowd server, so he cannot power slide over terrain. But he can power slide over Blade on Alarak, and Juan to the rescue here. Throwing Blade out, throwing Dahaka out. No engage for you guys, so we're out of here.
That was a nice idea to bring Max Payne down and try and try and win a fight, but really solid disengage skills from. Oh, again trying to throw ETC, but the slide.
This was absolutely not what Juan was expecting with the throw on Wit.
Yeah, this. Oh, and Alarak juking the. Oh, and the silence is onto Phoenix. They might be able to punish Skog here. He's quite far forward. The four-legged cavalry is down. They're looking now to catch Wit on
Yes.
ETC as well. The combo from Li Ming is enough to scare them off, so they won't go for more. But
Four like
nice
cavalry
kill.
got absolutely deleted there.
And it's all down to that Alarak silence, you see.
Yeah, absolutely. Denying Phoenix's warp is so impactful here.
That's that's what I would say is the biggest value of Alarak's silence so far is just shutting down Phoenix's attempts to escape. And he's so big, he's so easy to catch into those skill shots with his huge hitbox and his huge spindly legs.
Yes, that he is.
ETC going for
Right,
stage
level
dive, by
10
the way.
is here for.
ETC stage dive.
Oh, we're not going to see Torbus.
We're not. Well, he didn't have crowd surfer, so it wasn't that massive anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be that exciting anyway. But yeah, we're not going to see Torbus, sadly. Best talent in the game, guys. Don't forget. So that means that Wit and Skog are still here. And they are defending this siege camp. Meanwhile, the Haka... excuse me, Bruce camp. Meanwhile, the Haka had pushed their Bruce camping quite far.
Yeah,
Backs out. Gets the movement speed here, by the way, in the bush and goes back in. We give Race Car the Haka.
Yeah, well, the thing is,
we've got Race Car the Haka in trouble.
he's got to start race carring out of that. He has.
Yeah, he's racing out of here.
He has.
He's like, oh no, I don't want any of this. In the meantime, with that rotation, 2B's determined kind of gave up a big part of their immortal here.
They did, and now they've got to start thinking about engaging a bit hard under the enemy immortal, which is always risky. Here comes Li Ming with the combo, looking to damage Guan, scare him off. Wit on ETC, goes for the slide, onto Juan, who's taking a big Li Ming orb to the face. Here comes the hacker, the Tehran stun to completely shut down Max Payne's idea of an engage. And for now, again, we see as soon as the hacker burrow is used, is a solid disengage from... Oh, but Wit's been thrown in. The slide's been interrupted. He's silenced as well. They're trying to catch him out. He doesn't have the mosh pit to punish. He's been rooted, but he stage dives out.
Stage dive is huge! Alright, that's nano boost out here.
They're going to use it, I guess, to poke the immortal. Okay, it's finally faded, so... But they've got the half-time show. They're throwing the hacker in. This fight is still going on.
Yeah,
Max Payne locked down. The slide!
Stuns here. The power slide is there. Max Payne looking awfully low here. Getting the tongue action in, but dies for that straight away. Wit looking awfully low here. Oh, gets the power slide off. Skog, of course, with the big hitbox is very far behind. Anna already on the retreat, not being able to heal him anymore. But Li Ming does manage to get a kill there.
I wonder if Li Ming should be going top now to try and get some shield off that immortal. Instead, she's going to try and poke the members of 2B's determined, but she's not going to get any kills, and there are 4 of them there, so if she ever gets caught, it's going to be pretty risky. I wonder if Knuti maybe could have gone.
That Knuti just doesn't seem to care about that. Stopping Jaina from backing is quite huge though, because she has no mana at all.
Yeah, they're actually completely proving me wrong. They're putting massive pressure onto the backliners here. If they can't get any kills though, was it worth it in the end? Because they gave up a bit of the chance to get some of the shield off. And that immortal's going to start pushing. But they're catching Garrosh though. The slide into tongue is absolutely huge. The sanctification's huge. The stun from Garrosh. The lockdown with a taunt as well. The silence on Phoenix. Arak's going to go there. The ult from Li Ming is not enough to zone. ETC stage dives to safety, but I don't think that's going to save the rest of his team, who are all in the graveyard. And we're not finishing here. Tyrael's going on, trying to catch the Li Ming. Wit using his face melt, manages to zone a little bit, and Wit and Knuti will survive. But wow, what an engage from Garrosh, who thought it looked like that Garrosh was getting locked down, and then we saw that turnaround of the throw, the stun, the taunt, the deaths.
Boom. Right, they take the top fort, they move immediately down to get this second fort here. Towers already down. Blizzard being dropped on this bottom fort here. Anna trying to get asleep, but misses. Level 13 versus level 13. Li Ming still in the top lane. 4-legged cavalry arriving here in the bottom lane. By the way, guys, the The joke of the four-legged cavalry is one from the last Hallows Cup. So.
Well, I noticed that
Not
D
one.
Harry Ugly Guy asks if is there any type of cavalry that isn't four-legged, but the actual answer is yes,
Yes.
there is.
Well.
There's Kel'Thuzad, who is the no-legged cavalry.
Yeah. Exactly. And someone really cleverly said a raptor. A raptor has only 2 legs. That is true. Oh, Blade.
Yeah, I mean, raptors aren't typically used in cavalry in warfare. I don't know. I haven't seen.
I mean, the trolls do use them in warfare. Oh, beautiful power slide here by mid Antujuan. Taking a lot of damage, forcing the Shadow Stalk out. Are they going to engage here? Shadow Stalk is gone.
The Sanctification is still available, though, and Holy Ground as well. It means they have such great point control, they're not going to be able to contest that camp. Juan trying to catch Wit again, but look, the ETCW is so good at just... The best part about playing ETC against Garrosh is when he comes up and he tries to throw you, and you press W at the right time. Speaking of which, Alarak's coming in. Big slide, big leaving orb. It's not enough. No, he comes...
Big orb?
Yeah, he tries to throw you, but you push him back at just the right time. That he's already sort of cued his stun afterwards. Here's a stage dive engage though. ETC looking for Tyrande. They've been a bit indecisive about whether they're going for Alarak or Tyrande. They've gone for Alarak instead, and he's got away. The slide onto Garrosh though.
Looking so low, but gets the scan out. It hits a lot of people. Alarak is looking awfully low. The stun on the Tyrande misses, and Max Payne is still on the chase, but he's in the middle of everyone here.
The slide onto Garrosh.
Power slides. Wow, what an Indomitable here.
Yeah, and he manages to get himself to the Sank. If he didn't press Indomitable there, he's dead 100%. Because he would have been stunned.
He would have been 100% dead.
Either by the Immortal or by the follow-up of the knockback. So that's great play from Juan on Garrosh. And, of course, this means that the first half has finally been won by Skogsapor, but, of course, the To Be Determined can just control this Immortal here and start putting a bit of pressure on their own in the form of Jaina and Tyrande. Garrosh doing the zone. This is the difficulty that Skogsapor have right now, is they don't know who's here and who's not. And here come Tyrande and Jaina. ETC thrown in. The stun doesn't connect though. The next stun from Tyrande does. The taunt on top. Yeah, and the Ring of Frost is there. Hasn't caught anyone. Wit's managed to give it the old walk away, and a lot of heroics have been committed so far with no results. The Immortal is there to help them, but for now, it seems like Skogsapor can just back off and rely on the fact that they have the cooldowns up. Phoenix's Purification Salvo is up now, and that's probably the point at which they're going to start looking to engage.
Oh, Wit is looking really, really lonely here. But look at this. They're all low, and without Tyrande being able to AA anyone, she cannot get the cooldowns in. So they're gonna have to wait until all Tyrande's heals come off cooldown.
Yeah, and that's... I mean, right now, the Ring of Frost is not available, but Oh, the lockdown onto ETC is absolutely huge. The silence and the taunt, but the cleansing coming out from Anno. Here's the ETC coming back in with the stage dive. Doesn't quite connect. I think he didn't want to go too ambitiously. Max Payne went in pretty deep with the hacker. Still fine, 100% health. And the Sanctification's already been used. There's nothing left to save Juan and Mr. Tycho.
Can I get a reset?
If she gets a reset, she's going to go to town. Yes! Here's one. Clutie going to town. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that Ming. Looking for the Jaina as well.
There's no mana. There's no mana for Ming. No mana, no resets.
No mana, no cry. It seems to be.
No mana, no cry. We're gonna get a full shield, almost full shield immortal in the top lane, and in the meantime, the Skogsapor is comfortably pushing the bottom lane. Oh, the Haka gets thrown in, and the gate is still up. There's no way Max Payne is gonna get out of here.
Surely not. Anna's doing her best though.
The goodness still manages to heal him for a bit before he falls.
Yeah, I mean that's absolutely a huge play from Garrosh to get that throw to punish and absolutely shut down. Oh, the Li Ming combos! Like you were saying earlier, Seeker absolutely tears apart a Garrosh because the burst comes all at once. Alarak this time being locked down. The counter strike stops the kill that would have a combo that would have absolutely executed him.
The counter strike was huge. The slow with the Skogs as well, but the warp is still there. Without Alarak being there to disable that warp, Skog is just going to be able to get away every time.
It's the Purifying Darts that I was going to say, by the way. The Purifying Darts are level 13 for Anna. That's the one that removes those slows and roots. So when ETC goes in and Jaina tries to catch with a Ring of Frost or something, it is allowing him to get out. So great play from Anna there.
Absolutely. The thing was, last game they did not have that talent because Galnagunner went for Smelling Salt, which removes stuns and gives the target armor every time it removes a stun.
Yeah, I
Which
wonder
is also a huge talent, of course.
that would also have been good against the Garrosh stun, but the Garrosh stun doesn't last that long, so you have to time it pretty well. There is the Tehran stun as well. Maybe that's the.
But versus like, and definitely last game versus Journeys of Hate and Ring of Frost, it's so valuable to be able to get those roots out of the way.
Yeah.
Alright, so we see Skogsapor picking up top siege camp, picking up bottom siege camp with the Dahaka, moving down to the bottom lane to very comfortably defend this bruiser camp here and the catapult.
ATC, you look like you're in a bit of trouble, my lad.
What is that?
I think ETC got a bit caught out there. It was trying to sort of anchor in the bush, but Garrosh
I'm a bit
out.
scared for the Dahaka now, because oh my cavalry is coming. Bro.
Can he burrow out in time? Oh, Max Payne!
Ooh, that was a clutch burrow. That was a clutch burrow, Karis.
That was definitely a clutch burrow, Joy K. Skog have managed to get their own camp as well, so it's. And that's going to put keep pressure with the help of Dahaka, who's sort of going to go gradually and nudge the lane. Max Payne knows that they're looking for him.
At some point, I expect someone of Skogsapor to go onto that top lane and sneeze on that top keep, so it just...
Skog just about teleported out. Now, here's the thing that maybe to be determined haven't factored in. ETC has stage dive. He can come into this fight anytime they like. This is their immortal. They found the Garrosh looking for him. The isolation doesn't connect. Right, Dahaka gets pulled in, silenced again. Here comes the stage dive. Looks with a big slide onto Tehran, who's been deleted.
The Seeker absolutely deletes Tyrande here. Oh my god, the damage is insane. Knuti deletes yet another target, the Alarak, and they're going for more. There's still mana. There is mana, and mana means there are skills for Knuti on Liming. There comes the Seeker. 5 of them connecting onto Quan.
And they're still trying to catch Quan. He's already used his throw.
No, it's not going to be enough. Tico is the next one to fall. Korlik is low, has no mana, gets slapped, and absolutely explodes here.
Watching the geometry of Knuti's magic missiles is something. It's just something of beauty. The aim there, I like, okay, the Teriel kill was never actually in doubt, but just the perfectionism on getting those magic missiles so crisp as to make Teriel just go, no, that's it, you've gone, I'm not coming back. And Knuti on Liming has been delivering consistently great value this game, and I'm really impressed.
Yep. And it seems that the lane actually went to sneeze on that top keep because it's gone now.
Yes, well, actually ETC went there and just gave it a little nudge as well. So, but there's, I think with two or three members dead on the side of to be determined, that was never in doubt. The difficulty now is this Immortal has got a big shield and there's no towers on this bottom keep. It's looking pretty rough here for To Be Determined. This could be their elimination from the All Hallows Cup. Skogsapor are hungry to go up against Leftovers tomorrow in the semi-final. And they're going to march with this and look for kills. Both teams are level 20 though. The game is not over. Can Garrosh get the engage?
Gets stunned by the Immortal. Shadowstalk is already down.
The Teriel, the Eldruin trying to zone, isn't doing much. The Taunt though! The Taunt of the Phoenix!
Telekinesis, the silence, the Ring of Frost comes down, but Warp is available, so Warp's out. With not taking too much damage, and this Immortal is comfortably taking a keep. There comes the stage dive. Power slide onto Blade.
The Sank's huge! It denies the Purification salvo entirely! Phoenix is under so much pressure. Does he have the level 20 talent to keep him alive? Tyriel's gonna die, provide some space maybe with his Ghost to get this Immortal down, but the problem is they're giving their team for it. The attack has been thrown. It looks like Alarak's called GG and has left the game. The stuns are there. The Immortal's finishing off the core. It looks to be all over. It looks to be 2-0 in favour of Skogsapor. GG, well played.
GG. Well played to both teams. What a series.
I mean, just solid play from Skog. They looked so strong there.
So strong.
Game number 1, a bit closer, but I mean, let's be fair, both games were close. For example, game number 2, 12 kills to 10. That's it.
Yeah.
2 kills were all that was in it. And by the way, those were at the end of the game. Like, so before the final fight, it's even on kills. Maybe even in favor of 2B's Determined. So a close series for sure. 2B's Determined looked strong. Skogsapor just a little bit more controlled. Just provided, they just had that extra millimeter that took them the distance and will take them to play against Leftovers tomorrow in the semi-final.
Yeah. I wonder how they are going to fare against Leftovers. That's going to be an interesting match, Daddy K.
That's going to be an interesting match. We don't know yet whether it'll be on this channel or the other one. I don't know what's going on in the other series on
The other
Halloween.
series are closed.
So have they... Right, so and they were... What was the result over there on...
The result over there was a 2-1 for Team Russia.
Oh, great play from Team Russia, who've just come off winning the EU Nexus contest.
Yes.
And it's a 2-0 for Skogsapor. Wow. So
are we again on the 2-0 curse?
We might be on the 2-0 curse, but we'll see. We'll see. We do have another giveaway coming up in just a minute. Let's have a look before we do that at the standings from today's games. We have Leftovers beating GermanPanzer 2-0. Team Russia beat Mongolian Farm 2-1. Skogsapor beat 2B's Determined just now 2-0. And Main Tank on Flank beat Team Sweden 2-0 as well. Yeah. So it's looking like it's going to be a pretty hot day number 2 here at the All Hallows Cup, when it's going to be Main Tank on Flank against Team Russia and Leftovers against Skogsapor. Let's have a look at that in the brackets to show you how that will work out. And the winners of the semi-finals are, I believe, guaranteed some kind of cash prize, because there's a second place prize, and whoever loses the semi-finals will go through to the third place playoff, and I think there will be a cash prize for third place. I'm not 100% on that. It might depend on the volume of donations. But basically the semi-finals, if you win the semi-finals, you're in the money. But I think that's a tough order for anyone. I mean, that's 4 really strong teams there.
Yeah. It's gonna be a really tough call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're nearly ready. I should say, really nearly ready to get the giveaway up and running. We will have it working properly this time.
Aha!
I think.
Yes, because the Stream Elements bot is up and running. And
Yes.
That's what we wanted.
We will now have the Stream Elements giveaway. We will have a giveaway on. So, Aragos might be able to tell us what the giveaway is in the chat. But let's see. Let's have a look. See what's going on. But there will be a giveaway, and
all of the commands are working. There we are. There's a link to my channel in the chat right now. If you would be so kind to give me a follow, that's very much appreciated.
Yep, twitch.tv/YouAreJoyK.
Yeah, I am Troy K.
Yeah, I think it's looking like it's going to be a really exciting All Hallows Cup. Has the giveaway been... Yes, the giveaway started now. So, is for a Blizzard balance code, I believe, again of €10, and don't type ticket 1000. I think you're only allowed to buy one ticket each. That could be
I
TB.
cannot confirm that.
I think Aragos will confirm that for us in the chat. Well, I mean, day 2, we've got main tank on flank versus Team Russia and leftovers versus Skogsapor. Now, we haven't watched yet the main tank on flank versus Team Sweden game, or the Mongolian farmers versus Team Russia game. My gut feeling is that main tank on flank are looking like the favourites for that. Leftovers versus Skogsapor, though, could be a lot closer. Skogsapor looked really strong here.
Yeah,
and
Skogsapor is absolutely really strong. The macro play is going so well for them, and that has just showed in both of these games. The way that they use their team fighting potential, they just know when to engage, when to disengage, know their matchups. They look really strong.
Yeah. I will say that someone just asked in the chat, will the semi-finals be played now? No, they won't be played now. They will be played tomorrow on both this channel and twitch.tv/Halloween Heroes. So one of them will take place on this channel, one of them will take place on the other channel at 1800 CET, which is 5 PM UK time.
Yeah. And 6 PM Central Europe time.
That's what I said.
No, you said British time.
No, I said 1800 CET.
British time.
Well, the chat will confirm. Joy K. No, they won't.
No,
anyway, so definitely tune in tomorrow for that. I mean, gut feelings. What are your feelings from day 1 of the All Hallows Cup, Joy K?
My feelings about this first overall?
Yeah, your feelings from day 1.
Right. My feelings from day 1 have been intense. It was great. I'm just excited to see that there is just these pro teams, or well, ex-pro teams, because there's of course no real pros anymore. But there's these teams that are absolutely really strong, and they're competing next to teams that are from the Open Division or from Heroes Lounge, Heroes Lounge's finest, we can say. Like, it's just so exciting to see that this is happening. That this is all somehow now connecting to each other, and I think that's great, and I want to see more of that.
Yeah, I think it shows that high-level Heroes of the Storm is very well and truly still alive.
Yeah.
And by the way, this was just day 1. Day 2, we're gonna see. I mean, imagine if leftovers come up against main tank on flank, for example. That could be an absolutely epic final. I mean, we'll see how it goes. Of course, like, there's still a chance, I think, for Skogsapor or Team Russia to do very well as well. It's all still to be played for. I think that's more or less all we've got time for, except we're going to finish off with the giveaway, which I think, do we know when it's closing, Joy K?
We can close it now if you would like.
Billy says, is this your new favourite stream? So no, Halloween says to Billy, is this your new favourite stream?
And why would it be his new favourite stream?
Because he likes winning giveaways, but
that's a great reason to have a new favourite stream, in my opinion. Alright, we have 1 minute left to enter the giveaway, so get your tickets in right now if you want to have a chance to win this giveaway.
Joy K, is this about time to tell you that there's a 1 minute delay on the stream?
But we're counting down now.
Okay. Oh,
I don't know.
Down for no, I mean, I think it's been a really exciting day 1. I think Leftovers versus GermanPanzer obviously was quite a one-sided series. Let's be honest. Leftovers are still looking really, like, we speculated maybe that the pros may have lost some of their edge in not playing at the high level for the last couple of months. They showed in force. They looked so dominant, so in control, really high level play.
Yeah.
Great stuff from them. And credit to GermanPanzer as well for giving them a decent run for a little bit of that, and they made it tough. They did make it tough for leftovers. Skogsapor versus to be determined. I mean, game 1 could have gone either way. Absolutely solid stuff from both teams. On Cursed Hollow, a very macro-focused map, we saw kind of the macro come up against the team fight. Team fights were more or less won by To Be's Determined, and Skog just edged it on that macro, and okay, the final team fight as well clinched it for them. So, is it time for the giveaway? Yes,
the giveaway has closed, so it's time. And
the giveaway guy has won.
Been won. Congratulations.
Well done, D. Harry Guy. You've won a, I believe, €10 Battle.net code. You will be sent a message on Twitch by Arigos. Sorry, well, Ari Druid, I should say. Ari Druid, aka Arigos, our moderator. I think that's all we've got time for this evening. This is Joy K. And you can follow her at twitch.tv/IamJoyK.
Yeah, or you can just do this. Casters. And it will give you a link.
And I've been Karis, and you can follow me at this channel, which is twitch.tv/HotsKaris, as you can see if you're here. Yeah, we're going to leave you with some highlights from the final game in today, but for now I'll close out the way I began, which is with a rhyme, because you see, today is over, but the fun isn't up. Because tomorrow it's the semi-finals of the All Hallows Cup.
All Hallows Cup.
Exactly. Good night, everybody.
Beautiful. Good night, everybody. And see you tomorrow. Into the blizzard. Galnagunner is there on the Anna, but it's not enough. Knut still falls. Hansuka gets thrown in, but the grenade is not available anymore. Tether is able to finish off the job, so they managed to trade here. Level 10 is looking closer for Skogsapor than it is for To Be's Determined.
Yeah.
Wit looking awfully low here and falls.
Yep, and now
available because Max was in the cocoon here, sanked, but Skog is still looking so low. He's still on the chase though. Looking for Mr. Tico. Galnagunner having to run all the way around here, trying to heal his teammates up. Blade using Shade of Mephisto to get away. The channel is going through by hand. Grenade on top. Flooded out of the fray by Wit here. Witchcraft unstoppable. Cocoons. Ball stun.
On the Maiev, who manages to throw himself out. And for now, every member of Skogsapor is still alive, even though heroics were committed by To Be's Determined. But the fight goes on. This isn't a real fort. Skogsapor have to be careful. They're still not 16.
Nope, they're still not 16, and the big one.
Oh, Juan on tank, my lad, stopping Garrosh from reaching Mr. Tycho on Jaina, but the Maiev Warden's cage is there. The damage is coming out. Tyrael's in the cocoon, so he can't sank. Again, Maiev shut down completely. This idea of cocooning the Tyrael is absolutely shutting him down. Wit on Garrosh has to be careful to get out of here. The healing from Anna is big. Turned over. Oh, the sank there!
Tyrael is in the cocoon. Blade falls though, and Max Passion is now out of the cocoon. A big, beautiful butterfly with his, look at his majestic wings, on the chase.
Yeah, and he's looking huge Warden's cage.
With a huge Warden's cage. One is looking low. The throw is there. Hansuka is looking low. They both fall. Beautifully executed here by Skogsapor. Next tribute is up. This means that is their tribute. Boss is spawning at a perfect time, and that means that is going. Oh, Wit is on the flank. Warlord's challenge is huge. There comes the blunt force gun. It hits all three of them. Max Bane body blocking here, but oh my god, throws Knuti in on the hammer. They're still chasing. Quan is in the back, charging. Here's the cocoon. Corlick, can he get away? Can he get away? Max Bane still chasing him. Skog in the meantime rotated up. Corlick is looking so low, and Juan is still in the meantime in the bottom lane. Corlick is absolutely dead.
Juan versus Galnagunner. This has been Anna versus.
Is just chasing him on Anna.
This has been going on a while, but eventually it's going to be Ultra. The lightning breath. No.
But that was racked. The sleep. The minus healing grenade.
The Hellgate there with the back.
The backline though. Galnagunner so low. Falls.
Yeah.
Garrosh falls! Cutie on hammer falls! This is not what Skogsapor wanted. They got the keep though. Max Payne still in the enemy team on the Tyrael. Eldruin's teleport expires. He is able to mount up and he is still at 52, 70, 60. He's doing some percentage here.
This is where that old switcheroo talent level 13 is providing. Look at him! He's just juking Corlick!
He's playing with Corlick in the meantime. And there we go again. Massive attacks.
He is eventually surely going to die. Blade is here as well.
Of course. But he's just doing what he can. Look, he's running out of health and he's running out of mana, so he's absolutely dead here.
Dodges the owl!
The owl! The beautiful wings. Are they enough? The hit point.
Cocoon? What? He's about to die! Although, because Mr. Tycho's maybe sniffing this out, not there in time to contest it. Multiple here. Lightning Breath coming out, trying to finish the job onto Whip, but he does manage to get away. He's on to 130 HP.
So
the Ring of Frost doesn't. Is Maya even a cocoon? Where's the sanctification? It is available. No, it isn't. It's already been used. There's a massive pulling in from Maiev, who's going chop, chop, chop. Absolute work being done here by Maiev. Skog trying to flank round. He does have the nano boost. Nano boost fading now, but look how low Juan on Diablo is. But Blade on the Mephisto getting picked up on the other side. Maiev now so isolated. It's 2 for 1.
Got flipped in very well. A very nice counter engage here by Juan, who's now absolutely bodied by Wit and Max Sebastian trying to flip around. But Tyrael's movement is just too much. He just keeps dancing around, and now he gets thrown in. Oh, dodges the stun. The core of 2B's Determined has 3 catapults.
But Max Payne is still looking for Corlick. There's nothing much. Here comes Juan to try and save the day, but it's too late. Anubrak's already dead, trying to stop them from capturing the curse. But Diablo, you've got no souls. Where's your survivability going to come from? Turns, flips the Garrosh. But here's his teammates. Tyron's there with the healing. Mr. Tycho with the damage. Wit, Galmagun, and Max Payne have to start thinking about backing away. But they're trying to stall because there are still catapults chipping away that blue core.
Passion. With the attack speed, he's doing so much damage. He's absolutely shredding the Tyrande. And now he goes on.
The BFG!
On top of the big force gun not connect. Connects by air. Oh, what a clutch block! He almost lived there. Juan in the middle of everyone is still trying to stall with his life, but he falls as well. And because they did not take care of their core, it's now at 1%. It's actually over.
Maybe they can fight more here. There's a big stun from Garrosh trying to lock down the Phoenix, who has no shield left. Has to be careful. But Blade also has to be careful. If ETC catches him, then there could be a Lee Min combo into his face. ETC being thrown in. Has the slide out before the silence hits. Here's the Tron stun, but it won't do anything just now.
Nope. It seems that Skogsapor are once again moving up, trying to poke this Immortal, and they managed to get it down to the
invade here. No, they're sending Wit to be a distraction on ETC whilst 3 members do the race and the hacker goes to get soaked. So they're giving up, Skogsapor giving up that first Immortal, going to get most of the shield off. Oh no, sorry, Skogsapor have won the first Immortal. Wow,
they are comfortably winning this.
Wow, that was they were behind on stage 1, but they weren't they? I didn't imagine that they were behind on stage 1 after the first half. But oh, the lockdown onto Alarak. Maybe they can blow him up.
Power slide, the grenade, but it's not enough to finish off Blade, who just hits out of there.
By the way, it is Seeker. It's full magic missile build, Li Ming. That's why they raced so fast there. Li Ming with a full magic missile build absolutely deletes the Immortal. And we do get to hear that satisfying noise every time she hits the combo.
Seeker has the most satisfying sound in the game. And it absolutely wrecks Garrosh as well.
Yeah. And if Garrosh isn't careful, he doesn't have his Indomitable, so if he gets caught in a power slide now, look at his health. Getting chipped away again and again by those magic missiles.
Yep, as I just said, absolutely wrecks Garrosh, but Skogsapor does not manage to take this first fort. But he can power slide over Blade on Alarak, and Juan to the rescue here, throwing...
And it's all down to that Alarak silence, you see. Race carring out of that. He has.
Yeah, he's racing out of here.
He has.
He's like, oh no, I don't want any of this. In the meantime, with that rotation, 2B's Determined kind of gave up a big part of their Immortal here.
Down the slide!
Stuns here, the power slide is there. Max Payne looking awfully low here, getting the tongue action in, but dies for that straight away. Wit looking awfully low here. gets a power slide off. Skog, of course, with the big hitbox is very far behind. Anna already on the retreat, not being able to heal him anymore. But Li Ming does manage to get a kill there.
I wonder if Li Ming should be going top now to try and get some shield off that Immortal. Instead, she's going to try and poke the members of To Be Determined, but she's not going to get any kills. And there are 4 of them there, so if she ever gets caught, it's going to be pretty risky. I wonder if Knuti maybe could have gone.
Yeah, but Knuti just doesn't seem to care about that. Stopping Jaina from backing is quite huge though, because she has no mana at all.
Yeah, they're actually completely proving me wrong. They're putting massive pressure onto the backliners here. If they can't get any kills though, was it worth it in the end? Because they gave up a bit of a chance to get some of the shield off. And that Immortal's going to start pushing. But they're catching Garrosh though. The slide into... And we're not finishing here. Tyrael's going on, trying to catch the Li Ming. Wit using his face melt, manages to zone a little bit. And Wit and Knuti will survive. But wow, what an engage from Garrosh, who thought... It looked like that Garrosh was getting locked down. And then we saw that turnaround of the throw, the stun, the taunt, the deaths.
Boom. Right, they take the top 4. They move immediately down to get this second fort here. Towers already down. Blizzard being dropped on this bottom fort here. Anna trying to get sleep, but misses. Level 13 versus level 13. Li Ming still in the top lane. 4-legged cavalry arriving here in the bottom lane. By the way, guys, the joke of the 4-legged cavalry is one from the last Hallows Cup. So.
Well, I noticed that D Harry Ugly guy asks, is there any type of cavalry that isn't 4-legged? But the actual answer is yes, there is. There's Kel'Thuzad, who is the no-legged cavalry. Speaking of which, Alarak's coming in. Big slide, big go leaving up. It's not enough. Engaged though. ETC looking for Tyrande. They've been a bit indecisive about whether they're going for Alarak or Tyrande. They've gone for Alarak instead, and he's got away. The slide onto Garrosh though.
Looking so low, but gets the scan out. It hits a lot of people. Alarak is looking awfully low. The stun on the Tyrande misses, and Max Payne is still on the chase, but he's in the middle of everyone here.
The slide onto Garrosh.
Power slides. Wow, what an Indomitable here.
Yeah, and he manages to get himself to the Sang. If he didn't press Indomitable there, he's dead 100%, because he would have been stunned.
Been 100% dead.
Either by the Immortal or by the follow-up of the knockback. So that's great play from Juan on Garrosh. Thrown in. The stun doesn't connect though. The next stun from Tyrande does. The taunt on top. Yeah, and the Ring of Frost is there. Hasn't caught anyone. Wit's managed to give it the old walk away, and a lot of heroics have been committed so far with no results. The Immortal is there to help them, but for now, it seems like Skogsapor can just back off and rely on the fact that they have the cooldowns up. Phoenix's Purification Salvo is up now, and that's probably the point at which they're going to start looking to engage. So ETC is absolutely huge, the silence and the taunt, but the cleansing coming out from Anno. Here's the ETC coming back in with the stage dive. Doesn't quite connect. You think he didn't want to go too ambitiously. Max Payne went in pretty deep with the hacker, still fine, 100% health, and the Sanctification's already been used. There's nothing left to save Juan and Mr. Tycho.
Can I get a reset?
If she gets a reset, she's going to go down. Yes! Here's one. Knuti going to town. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that Ming. Looking for the Jaina as well.
There's no mana. There's no mana for me. No mana. No resets.
No mana, no cry. It seems to be.
No mana, no cry.
Oh my lad.
What is that here? Oh my god, the damage is insane. Knuti deletes yet another target. The Alarak, and they're going for more. There's still mana. There is mana, and mana means there are skills for Knuti on Li Ming. There comes the Seeker. 5 of them connecting onto Quan.
And they're still trying to catch Juan. He's already used his throw.
No, it's not going to be enough. Tico is the next one to fall. Korlik is low, has no mana, gets slapped, and absolutely explodes here.
Watching the geometry.
Gets stunned by the Immortal. Shadowstalk is already down.
The Tyrael, the Eltruin trying to zone, isn't doing much. The taunt though, the taunt of the Phoenix.
Telekinesis, the silence, the Ring of Frost comes down, but Warp is available, so Warp's out. With not taking too much damage, and this Immortal is comfortably taking a keep. There comes the stage dive. Power slide onto Blade.
The Sang's huge, it denies the Purification Salvo entirely. Phoenix is under so much pressure. Does he have the level 20 talent to keep him alive? Tyrael's gonna die, provide some space maybe with his ghost to get this Immortal down, But the problem is they're giving their team for it. The attack has been thrown. It looks like Alarak's called GG and has left the game. The stuns are there. The Immortals finishing off the core. It looks to be all over. It looks to be 2-0 in favour of Skogsapor. GG, well played.